Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy. The dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
As the agent for Peyton Ansley John Milton, you are indicating to me that you're quite familiar with Peyton Ansley John Milton, and that's basically you. Is that correct?
I am the agent authorized to represent Peyton Ansley John Milton, as written in all capital letters.
All right, and you understand for my purposes, though that language doesn't make any sense. So
No, I do not.
I understand. Okay, well, I'm telling you that. And so I am, until you disabuse me of the motion, or the notion, I am inclined to believe that you are both the agent and the person, so. And it's in
I'm
all
not a
caps.
person. I am one of the people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Thank you for joining me this Wednesday morning. Not just Wednesday morning.
I object.
It's more than a Wednesday. We have to wait for the music to stop, but it's definitely feeling like more than a Wednesday today. And I already know that this is going to be terrible. Like, terrible on a new level of terrible. Voice crack type terrible. I can feel it in my throat. But I can't stop the inevitable.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Guess what today is?
It's Hump Day.
Hump Day! Welcome to Wednesday. Oh my goodness, I couldn't go very high.
I'm not a camel.
But that's all. That's all I've got. That's all I got in me. I'm done. My son just came in and said I could do better than that. So it was. I've got just a little bit of sore throat. I think I'm on the up end. It's actually I've been miserable. Whoa, I've been miserable the past couple days. Honestly, I've been trying to hide it, and I feel better today, other than that little thing in my throat that you just heard, which is good because we've got plenty of Deer Park water, which is available in your local grocery store for the low price of I don't know what. But I would tell you more about it if Deer Park would sponsor the show, which they don't. And it's not like I haven't given them the opportunity. I really have. I reached out to them on their corporate level. They actually have a contact just for sponsorships and said, hey, here's what I can do for you. Look what I did for spicy maple bourbon pickles. And in return, as I listened to their response and reviewed it, it sounded a lot like, yep, that's what we got. That's all. Anyway, we have to do a couple things this morning. We'll stop dissing on my favorite water and go on. First of all, we have to welcome Krista. Krista was first in chat today and won by a long shot. It's rare to have somebody who just is a clear and definitive winner. We don't have to go back to the instant replay. We don't have to go back in slow motion and see who crossed the finish line first, who came in first. We don't have to do any of that. It's just everyone can acknowledge that Krista came in and almost took first and second place, which is quite a feat if we're running a race. You rarely see that in any athletic sport. But Krista, you managed today. Congratulations, Krista. Being first in chat comes with a prize, penalty, and punishment of owning the internet, and not just owning it, but maintaining everything internet connected or connected to the internet. I think is the correct word. I've got weird static in my line. Do you guys hear that? Little zzz. We'll figure it out. All right, Krista, congratulations. Thank you very much. You're a repeat offender. I think it's been a little bit since you've won, but I think you've won before. Let me know if that's not the case. Let's see. I have completely ignored chat this morning, which you guys are used to, but I should not do. I should do better than that. Let's see. Nicole says, I just bought the pickles last night. Haven't tried them yet. Nicole, first of all, just pro tip, put them in the fridge. First of all, I know Walmart keeps it out on the shelf, and it's just like ages forever. It sits there forever. They belong in the fridge. Before you open them, let them cool. Let them chill for a couple hours. Just let them get nice down to, I'm thinking like 35, 36 degrees. Nice and cool, not frozen. Okay, it's very important. Don't freeze the pickles because then the jar, the cleanup, it's bad. But get them nice and cold and then pop them out. And it's the soonest you can get them like from the fridge, open it in your mouth. That's optimum, right? That's the perfect level. Anyway, I'm excited for you to try them and find out that they're earth changing. I mean, life changing. All right. Good morning, 80s Music Band. Good to have you here. Welcome. Cold dill pickles are the best. Pickles cold have to be. When they're hot, they lose that crunch, and the crunch. I mean, it's half of its flavor, but the other half is just the texture and the crunch in your mouth. All right. How's the cat? The cat. It's funny you should ask. Hey, let me see if I can get a picture for you. Just 1 second. How's our new cat? Which I think we're going to call Pickles. Let's see. I need to send this where? Let's send it to my computer. Nope, that's the wrong one. Now I have too many computers to choose from. I don't want it there. I want it here. Wait for it. Why is it still waiting? Come on. Well, that's just not cool. Let's see if we can send it to an iPad. How about this one? I think that's my wife's iPad. That didn't help. This one? I have no idea how to do this, apparently. Okay, well, we'll get to the cat. We'll get to the cat pictures. But basically, let's go old school, shall we? Ready? This is how the cat's doing this morning as we wake up and look out on the back deck. And it's just chilling. Originally it looked like this. And then it looked like this.
I'm not a cat.
So that's how it's doing. It's not meowing, it's glaring at us. Honestly, it's glaring. And last night, as it's late last night, out on the front deck, we're all gathered in the front room. The lights are off outside. We've turned off the porch lights. It's dark. We're getting kids ready to go to bed. We're all sitting there talking in the front room, and we look out the front window, and the cat is like right at the window, just like, what you guys doing? Just like, why am I not in there? And not very happy. So I think the cat's still grumpy that we not let it in last night. We have still not let it in the house because I know once it comes in, it will not go out. Anyway, I did post on our local Facebook page and said, hey, we found your cat. We know it's somebody's. It has a collar. Yeah.
Is that correct?
All right. That being said, that's what cats do. Yes. This one on my daughter's like, what do you think it'll do if I go out this morning? I'm like, well, it's going to jump up in your arms and you're carried around all day like you did yesterday, and then it's never going to leave. So, yes. Anyway, it's a nice cat. It's really friendly, extremely friendly. Like, I know some cats are needy sometimes. Like, sometimes they'll come up and they're like, and they're rubbing up against you, right? I know Toyo Toys is going to cut this anyway. So, Tayo, I'm calling you out right now. The cat, it comes up against your leg, right? And it does this thing where it simultaneously sheds half of its body fur, rubs against your leg, and then does this big, all in one motion, right? And it does that. Cats do that occasionally. This cat, if you start walking, it darts out in front of you and stops right in front of your foot. Like sometimes standing on your foot. Like, don't go. We've got a sound effect for that. I think we've got a sound effect as well for what it says.
How does he do that?
I don't know where it is. I might have deleted that one. I might have deleted the don't go. But anyway, the cat does this, and it climbs on your foot, and it sort of tries to make you trip over it, so you feel bad for it, so you pick it up. I think that's its whole slogan and MO. Miss Christie, yes, I know we can take it to the vet and see if it's been chipped. The only problem is my wife and I, at various times, are very highly allergic to cats.
I was kick back, taking it easy.
Eyes swell shut, can't breathe, everything. I don't want it in our car because then we can't get in our car ever again. So I can't really take it anywhere. I need somebody else to do that. I've been selected by the cat distribution system. There's no going back now. It's awful. I tell you, it's really bad. Oh.
Alex stole it as well.
And I just heard my front door open, which means one of my young kids just went on the front door just to see if the cat wants to, what it does. So the day has begun. All right. I should metal detect for a chip. I think I'm going to do that next. I think the collar does not have any metal in it. It's a plastic collar, so I think we're good. Anyway, let me show you what I did yesterday. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be like super pleased or like unimpressed at all, but let's see. Let's turn on a couple things here. We need super source, box source 2 is going to be 4. There we go.
I'm not a cat.
To turn on downstream keyer 2, like that, and this. So this is what we're doing for court, right? Because we've got the Maya trial going on, and we have the contest working. And I worked with all your help, as you guys know. You were here live with me as I was learning how to use Excel. Thanks to all your help, I was able to actually export an RTF file, rich text file that has your information in it, and I ended up with this. Of course, no, that's not the best view, but this is what we got. So we have right here a list. Man, I need to move. Let's go camera 1. Does that work? Yeah, let's switch to camera 1. Box source 2 is going to be camera 1. There we go. Okay, so we have this list right here that I can scroll through, and it has everybody's guesses with their name. And as we go through the guesses, as you can see, we can see whose objections. Oops, I need to go to super source. Why is that not on? Oh no. This is a problem. Wait for it. Let me think this through. Downstream keyer 2, super source was live. I know what I did. Super source, box source 1 should be 6. It's not working. It's not letting me put everything I want on the screen at once. Anyway, we have a list. And so we're at, if I show you here, just believe me, we're at 1,056. So we're scrolling through the losers, CG in Texas, sorry. We've got Erica Reynolds, Patricia, SoCal Judy, Rosie, Debbie Long, PJ, Teresa Lesoto. We're going through all these guesses. These are great guesses, by the way. Great guesses. Who would have thought we'd be over 1,000 objections? And then, now let's see, 156. It's a little sparse, this section. So Patches, Sue 2, Sunny at 150, 153. We have Laura Felix just past that one. Amanda Tanner, just past. So Amanda Tanner's the closest currently, and we're coming next to Katie Did. So Katie Did is coming up next. And if we scroll through, and I think I'm going to try to do this quickly because it goes pretty fast, but we can scroll 1100s, more 1100s, 1200s. We have 900 guesses, right? 980 or something. It's nearly 1,000. 1200s. Let's see if I can go a little faster here. 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, 16, 17, 18. These guesses were way up here. I'm going to show you the very last one. 1900. We've got 2000. A couple people were right in the 2000 like. So if we nail 2000, that's going to be interesting. We go through 22, 24, 26. Oh, right at the end. Jim Bob. If Jim Bob is closest with infinity as his guess, first of all, this will be a very long trial. But before that, we've got a couple in the tens of thousands, which I think those might be a little high. Let's see. Connie says, I think I guessed 1856. Let me scroll back and see where you're at, Connie. Let's see if you're at 1856. Oops. A little slower. Okay. I'm just gonna let it play here. Is that all right? 1856. Connie, I'm not seeing you here. Are you in this area? Anyway, we've got a ton of different guesses. Anyway, we're during the trial as this progresses, we're going to track your numbers. We're going to scroll through and see who's the winner and who's coming up and where we're at, just so you guys can all see where we're at. So it's all above board, and it's going to be great. Let's see. I'm not sure if I can show everybody's guesses. Just 1 second here. Going backwards here. I was just going to check one more. Am I at 1,200, says Rudy? I think so, Rudy. I think we just passed you, actually. Did we? I'm not sure. Who said 15? I guess 1591, but I'd like to make sure, said Colleen. We'll do that one really quickly. 15, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91. Colleen, there you are. We've got you at 1591. I'm telling you, we actually have, Amber did a great job with this. We've got almost all the guesses in there. There are a couple that she's still fixing. We'll add to the list that had a couple technical problems with them. But anyway, we've got those coming up. So I'm super excited about that. Let me turn this off and turn the other one on. I think I'm limited on my downstream keyer. Let's see, I can have that one on. I can have this on at the same time. For some reason, I can't have my cake and eat it too. For some reason, I want that. Okay, so this is what we're going to need. We need all these things turned on, and at the same time, we need DSK1. Can I do that? Yes, it's working. Okay, now it works now. So it will work. I can do 2 downstream keyers, an upstream keyer, and a super source. I need a few more devices, says Greeners. I was looking at that. If I needed one more device, I'd need another switcher to run the super source. But this is good. We'll make this work. So hopefully that format works for you. We're going to follow how we're going with that tool. So that was basically the only thing I accomplished last night, other than getting my other YouTube channel, at least in the countdown, so it can start going live. We did download a court. We recorded a court from Colorado yesterday. This trial is the Nathan Woodyard trial. He's the 3rd officer tried for the death of Elijah McClain. And that trial just began yesterday. So we recorded 2 parts of that. I have the opening statements, and then the first half the day with witnesses, and they had 3 or 4 witnesses on the stand. So I have that. I'm going to be recording that again today. I'm posting that to my other channel, but literally, just so you know, my other channel is going to be something completely different than this channel, other than it's got to have some court stuff because it's news. It is straight politics and no pickles. I don't know how else to describe it. And not that I'm going to be out there spewing politics, but it will be discussing issues that do touch politics. So if for any reason you do not want to see issues involving politics, please don't search out my channel. But anyway, so I have 1 view and 0 subscribers. And so that's it. And right now, I think it's going to. I'm still trying to work with Reuters to negotiate some access to some equipment there, or some video feeds there, and that's going to be on there as well. But okay, where are we at? Did we have any birthdays? Did we have any birthdays today? Because I forgot to sing this morning. That noise is just driving me nuts. It's an ungrounded USB cable. That's what it is. And I found it. Okay, Natalie Holloway hearing this morning. I'm not set up to cover that one yet, but it would be interesting to see what happens there. Kelly P says, all right, love the channel and the community. Thank you very much, Kelly, and congratulations on 3 months for you. Nikki Zeebs in the gallery, new member, 6 months at least. That Yellow Courthouse, you've been here for a long time. Thank you for support as well. Here's what we need to do. We have to talk a little bit about the Maya trial because, yes, we do have the Maya trial today, but not this morning. And I say that with a question mark because, you know, it was sort of a weird scenario how this went down. Let's see. What's that? Okay, there we go. What we have is the judge has like half a day off. And I don't know if he has like some other court business he has to attend to or if he has some important judge breakfast he has to, you know, be the MC for. I don't know. But we know that this afternoon at 3:30, they're going to start with arguments, and these arguments are over mostly what witnesses are going to be excluded, what is going to be allowed to be brought in. There are some motions to reconsider that are on the table. We have several DVs, directed verdicts, that have not yet been ruled on by the judge, and that's going to be very, very impactful to the case. We have a ton of evidence that is disputed as far as whether or not it's admissible or not, or relevant. All of that has to come this afternoon, and it's just going to be a fight, and it's going to be pretty fierce because as we've seen before, these battles set up the potential for big losses or big gains on either side. So yes, it's important what happens in court in front of the jury. That's ultimately important. But if this battle is lost now, it will never get to the jury. So we're going to see some very, very strong arguments from both sides as they talk about these witnesses today. And it will probably be very spicy. We do know that it will, appearance-wise, it will look different. The judge may be appearing over Zoom. So our cameras are going to be different. We did get a confirmation, though, that we would have some sort of camera feed. And possibly people were going to be in the courtroom, even though the judge is not, which I've never seen before. I mean, so I'm sort of looking forward to seeing how this actually goes, as the judge, probably might get stepped on a little bit when as he's being over Zoom. The audio's not the best. All right, that's going to be exciting. The desire for a hoodie is real. It is, and Colleen, we're gonna do some more contests as well. I think. I've got to think of how to do this because first of all, I don't want to make Amber work her tail off. Amber has a full-time job. If you didn't know, Amber has a full-time job, and then we sort of work her full-time as well on the channel here, and I feel very bad for that. All right, Girl Next Door says, I'm behind on this trial. Does anyone know the bad news that was Mr. Anderson received during court? Girl Next Door, they didn't talk about it openly. Trying to get that sound to go away. They didn't talk about it openly, but here's what we know. It was sad news. It involved a family member, and it was unexpected. And because of that, the judge said, hey, if you need some time, if you need to take the day off, and he said, I'd like to go and be with family. It sounds like there was a death in the family, but it's not something that he's talked about openly. So there's been no prying when it comes to that. But that's a good question because that was something that happened very surprising in court. They're going to be going over housekeeping matters. Housekeeping sounds like you're just like dusting the bookshelf and tidying a few things and sweeping up on the floor. This is going to be like renovation level housekeeping. It's going to be amazing, I think, this afternoon. I still have not seen any birthdays. So if there's a mod chat out there that can see a birthday, let me know and I'll listen for that. Kids are coming in with the cat right now. Let's see. So yes, other channel is it's under my business name and not under Recovery Addict. So you're not going to find it that way. I think the only way you could find it is if you search really hard for trial footage of the Colorado trial. Everine, it's your birthday? Is it Everine? Help me on the pronunciation. Is it Evrain or Everrain? I have to know how to pronounce it for singing because I'll sing. I'll try. I mean, I already did the Hump Day cheer and I gave it my all on that, so I don't have a lot left in me. Let's see. Prison Break Investigations was a witness in the bathtub murder trial. Thought of you. Prison Break Investigations case. What those of you who were saying to McKee, saying, what does that have to do with anything? Prison Break Investigations is this, I won't say shady. It looks like a flimsy company, and by that I mean their logo was literally ripped off the cover of a DVD by the same title. They seem like a very small fly-by-night type investigation company. And it just so happens to be that is the company that Sarah Boone reached out to for help and support on her case personally, not her lawyer, but she reached out to investigate some of this injustice and things that's going on in her case. And he wrote a letter to the court, and we read that here. It has a big old logo and everything. So it looks like Prison Break from the movie Prison Break or the TV show. They just took that logo and pasted it and wrote investigations underneath it, and that's their company name. But him being a witness in the bathtub murder trial, that's crazy. I wonder how he did. McKee, thank you, by the way, for 4 months of support. Do we know what happened with Shapiro wife messages? Lene, I will say, okay, here we go. Eve Rain is good. Okay, we're going to sing to her in just a second. Lene, I'll say this. I've seen the messages now, and I don't think they've been addressed in court, and they also might not be addressed in court. Like I don't know if the plaintiff can prove that anything wrong happened because of it. So we're going to check. We'll see. Okay. So we're going with Eve Rain, right?
I apologize.
That was terrible. Eve Rain. Okay, Eve Rain. And the message says, Eve Rain has a birthday today. G'day WA has a birthday on the 3rd. And Jennifer says, when's the 3rd? On the 3rd.
Alex stole it
G'day
as well.
WA. Did we just completely miss your birthday? Was it? Because that's been like more than 2 weeks ago. Let's see. Dr. McDreamy says, I've wondered about the dynamics of male, female, and all true crime chats. I guess 80% female. I'd say in our group, I think it's 65 to 70% is female. According to YouTube.
How does he do that?
That's just a guess. Yes. I'll talk about the new channel in a little bit, a little bit more. But anyway,
don't miss the forest for the trees.
Let's do the first thing we need to do first. We're going to include Eve Rain, G'day, and Jennifer on the song. But you guys have to sing with me because my voice is just not here today. Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Eve Rain, G'day, and Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. All right, Eve Rain, G'day WA, and Jennifer Hope. Thank you very much for being here today, for having birthdays. I realize not all of your birthdays today, but on your birthday, happy birthday, even if it was belated. So, Eve Rain, it is your actual birthday today. It's our pleasure, honor, and privilege to be here with you. Thank you very much for spending it with us, and I hope it's fantastic. Make sure you get some free pancakes at Denny's or whatever restaurant honors that sort of tradition. Christy is a new member. Welcome to the gallery with that yellow courthouse. Sorry, that's not new member. That's just a renewed member. Great to have you here, Christy. I said new member, but that's 8 months. That's 8 months of support. So yellow courthouse times 3. Debbie Wilson also. I feel like I've been at 5 months for about 2 years. Debbie, next month, your courthouse turns yellow. It'll be a momentous occasion. And thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see. We're going to get ready. Oh, hey. Cat update. It lives on the mat outside our front door. Like, you can't open the door because the cat is there. It's announcing its presence by saying, you can't leave because I am in the way. I will, it's guarding our house now. We have a guard cat. Anyway, Jules says, wow, I actually caught a live. Jules, thank you very much. Great to have you here as well. yeah, when you're not in court, you're able to watch the YouTube, so it's great. What's the situation with the Shapiro's Facebook messages you mentioned? I must have missed something. P. Will, for real, what happened was Shapiro's wife, Mr. Shapiro's wife, Mr. Shapiro's one of the defense attorneys, his wife was posting in, and I forget the page, somebody sent it to me, but it was a page for the plaintiff. It was on the Justice for Maya page or something like that. And she gets in there and she's like, hey, you guys, this court case isn't what you think it is. Just wait. This evidence is going to blow you out of the water. This family is not all they've cracked up to be. These type of messages that she's posting in the Justice for Maya page. And first of all, it's like, why are you even in there? Okay. If you're not on the team for Justice for Maya, why are you in there? Are you a troll? Are you just stirring the pot? What? And the second thing, why are you spilling the beans with something your husband may have told you about the trial? So that's the concern they had, that the lawyers were basically through someone else leaking information to try to sway potential jurors. I think it came out on the Facebook. The Facebook post came out prior to jury selection, and that's where the issue would really be a problem if somebody had heard about it or seen these posts prior to jury selection. But just crazy.
Correct?
Christopher Orth says, "Pretty sure I'm the first subscriber on the other channel. I have four subscribers on the other channel. Tell you, the growth has been phenomenal. We've grown 400% today alone on the other channel. It's amazing. Congratulations on the new cat that you'll let in the house today. Weather Watch. I'm allergic, and now I'm allergic if I touch my eyes. Okay, it's not like if it's poison ivy. Okay, if it's poison ivy, if I hear about it, I can watch a video of poison ivy on the TV and I'll get it. Okay, that's how it is for me. A cat, I can pet a cat and wash my hands and be fine, absolutely fine. But if there's like cat hair on something around me, as the closer it gets to my face, the more I just swell up and eyes shut, and then breathing stops. So that's where that is. So the cat cannot come in the house, or I will have to live stream from the hospital. Mandy Strong says, Jules, do you think the plaintiff has the majority?
Jules, do you think the plaintiff has the majority of the jury on their side? In civil cases, it's majority rules. YN.
Sorry, voice. I didn't realize you were going to read that one for me. I stand corrected. Mandy Strong, thank you very much for the question for Jules. Jules, for those of you who know, the Jules has been a courtroom observer in this trial since the get-go following this, and has been able to call in and give us updates as well on what she's observed from the jury. She keeps meticulous and much better notes than some of the witnesses who claim they have good notes. So great notes, and it's wonderful. Yes, Jules does say she's not going to be attending today because it's just the housekeeping stuff that'll start this afternoon. But great question. We'll watch for that in chat. Mandy, thank you very much. You must address me. Are you talking about the cat? The cat? Seriously, it's my fault because I fed the thing, right? I gave it some food and maybe some warm milk, and it is my fault because the cat. The first time we saw the cat, I was out playing football with my kids because I had promised them we'd throw the football in the yard, and it was almost dark. So basically, we were throwing the football at each other, but we couldn't see it. So it's like child abuse versus what's it called when the kids abuse the dad. So we're throwing and beating. It's dodgeball is what it is. We're playing dodgeball like blind with the football in the yard, and we see these little eyes, and this darted black and white cat just starts running across right like through where we're playing, right? And my kids, for some reason, and it's completely unjustified, are terrified of cats. They think that all cats are like pumas or cougars or mountain lions, and thus are going to eat us. And so they're like screeching in terror and starting to run and like in genuine fear. And I said, no, it's okay, stop, let me show you. And the cat, I'd never seen the cat before, and so I just crouched down. I'm like, here, kitty. And the cat just turns around like beeline right towards me. And, the arched back, tail goes up in the air, and it's just like rubbing around the legs and everything. And I said, well, you guys come over and you can pet it nicely. Mrs. R.A. just found out that I fed the cat. So, anyway, so I just wanted them to see that a cat in and of itself, and generally most cats are not scary. Now, I wouldn't recommend just trying to catch every cat you see, but this cat was friendly, and when it comes up to you, they genuinely, usually, don't go, psycho on you and flip to their alter ego and be like, "Ha, gotcha!" That doesn't happen. And so that was my purpose, but it turns into, oh my goodness, love at first sight. Can we keep it? And no, you can't just keep someone else's cat, but the cat won't leave now. So there we go. What time do we start today? Trish, we're going to start, we're actually going to start looking at, we're trying to do some court hopping today. That's going to be our go-to first thing. Let's see, just one second. So if you guys have a particular court that you like Judge Stephanie Boyd, if we wanted to look at Louisiana Parole Board hearings, if those are live, we can look at that. We have quite a few courts that are available to us that way. Let me turn this off. Let's go just like that. And that. Okay. This will allow me to bring in one of the feeds that we want to watch. So we're going to start doing that first thing with some court hopping. And then we don't have any of the Maya trial until this afternoon. So that's going to be, and it's going to be 3:30. So we're going to have a long, late lunch, and then we're going to start with the Maya trial for a couple hours of afternoon excitement. Dusty Den. I will tell you, this morning, the cat glared at us. And it saw us, and it was like, I'm not going to meow. I don't need you. I'm angry with you. You did not let me in last night. It got all the way down to 60 degrees, which was somewhat chilly. I think it was 55 actually. I do snitch on myself. I have a hard time keeping a secret. But now Mrs. R.A. is, she knows. All right, Kathy, thank you very much. Okay, let me talk about the other channel just quickly. The other channel is called Top Mark Media. Top Mark being my company name, and it's the one that I operate this under, as well as so when I make requests for legal documents and things like that, it sounds a lot better, filing a motion with a judge saying my email is at Top Mark Media instead of recoveryaddict@gmail.com. So it sounds better. It looks better. It's going to primarily, I think it's going to be a video channel that does not feature my voice or face, but it will feature events that go more into the political spectrum. Still things that are court related or news related. So if there was another manhunt, it would probably there would be footage of that over there. So it just depends. Anyway. Are we watching the trial? You started recording. Mary, I would love to do that. I am scared to death, though. I'm scared to death that I'm going to miss some of the recording, that I'm going to forget to record something. And if I miss a single day, then you've got a gap in the trial that I cannot recover. And it'll be difficult. Dr. McDreamy says, what do you think of Rob's recap? I only got to catch little pieces of that because I had a meeting I had to run to. And that meeting was long, and so I just caught little bits and was able to jump in a little later. Rob does a great job all the time. I'm looking forward to, I think, tonight when he covers the rest, what happened yesterday. I think that's going to be really, really good. But it's not a secret. I just want you guys to know that I'm committed to Pickles Not Politics on this channel. And I know there are many of you who
if you want to bond deeper with Cat, stare and slowly blink at it.
That's what it was doing to us. I thought it was glaring. I know that there are people here who love coming here because there are no politics. And I don't want people like that to feel obligated in any way to go and subscribe to the other channel, and because it will be completely separate. And it will have political stuff, and honestly, the chat mostly is going to be very, very different than what we have here, where it will allow a lot of political debate and probably some, it's going to be more troll friendly. I don't know how else to say that, because there are people that are going to attack, and we can't squish everything because the discussion is itself adversarial.
No, you were meant to blink back.
I was meant to blink back. Thank you very much, Ella. The cat is ours, apparently. Cat Damon. Cat Damon. That's a funny name. The cat story. Honestly, I need to check Facebook. Let me do that really quickly. And before I'm watching right now, just to see if you guys have any suggestions as to where you would like us to watch trial. Yes, you can put it in if you want, Sharon. That's okay. Just know that the link for the other channel, it's not going to be like this. So if you're looking for more like this, it's very different. It's going to be very, very different. That being said, the only thing it has on it is trials right now. So I think one of the mods will put the link to the other channel. Yes. Top Mark Media subscriber count's going up. Colleen, a little bit. Honestly, that's one of my concerns. I've told you on this channel, I'm a Pickles, not politics on this channel, but I've also told you that I'm very politically active and have some strong opinions myself. I just don't think that this format here with this channel is the right place to do that. We're focused on the law. We're focused on true crime. We're focused on the process, the judicial system, the corrective system, as far as corrections go, and trying to insert political stuff into there it makes the environment not conducive to learning and sharing opinions and things like that. It gets very difficult to do that. So that's why we don't do any politics over here. Okay. It's not that I'm the channel's not going to be me like spouting my political opinions, but it will allow people to share political opinions on it. That's what I say. It will be political. I am me. I mean, this what you get from me today. This is how I am. This is how I live. This is how I talk to people when I'm not doing anything on camera, and so you're not going to see like a side of me that's foul-mouthed and angry and full of vitriol. That's not going to happen. But it will just be open to political discussion and chat and some analysis back and forth. Anyway, all right. That being said, let's focus on. Thank you guys, appreciate that. Let's focus on the. Well, first of all, I keep. On my new little laptop, I keep touching the screen, and it's not a touch screen. I'm used to an iPad. Okay, I need to see if we have a start time for today. No stream sounds. I think it still starts at 10, but we'll check. All right. Yeah, opinions do cause division, but that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to be on this channel daily. This is what I do. That other channel, a lot of it will be sourced video only, so something I've licensed out or something I've contracted out with somebody to bring or a feed that will provide some information or things like that is relevant. All right, can we do a Cook County court feed out of Chicago? Let me check really quickly. This is Law Talk with Mike's territory, right? I'm not seeing them live right now. Are you seeing something live? Okay, that buzz is driving me nuts. Okay, it's 8:15 in Chicago right now, so a little early for court to start. I'll talk with Mike from Chicago. Mike does, I love his intro. It's very brief and just straight to the point. You'll need a Ramen Plays Minecraft News Hour, right? So, probably not going to be a gaming channel over there very much. That's not going to happen. Do I ever watch Fridays with Frank? Christian Mama, I have not seen that one. Vermillionaire says, I've never first in chat, but I think I got first comment on the other channel. Have they caught the prison escapees yet? Okay, Selena, this is a great question. First of all, I'll have to ask the question, which prison escapee? And it's crazy that we have to ask that question, but because we have some in Texas, we have 4 in Georgia, we have we have 1 yesterday here in North Carolina. They're escaping all over the place. Now the Georgia one is the one that piques my interest the most, mostly because their search efforts and their law enforcement efforts, at least from the outside perspective, are completely opposite to what Pennsylvania did, the Cavalcanti manhunt. For Georgia, basically all they have is they've released a press release saying, hey, 4 prisoners just cut their way out of jail and drove off in a Charger. And if you see them, tell us. And that's it. And there's no we've got a perimeter set up, or there's nothing on, there's no special ops channel.
Lost a chicken yesterday. I swear it wasn't me. Really, it wasn't. She doesn't know what got her chicken, but it was a vicious kill. I feel sad for her. I love my human. Credit card. Ruff.
Buttercup, I believe you if it was not you. But sadly, yeah, chickens tend to be lower down on the pecking order. See what I did there? Of the food chain, and they often find themselves the victim of an attack from another animal. So sorry, Bite Me. That's no fun. All right, Fridays with Frank is hilarious. If you need a good laugh, watch him. We could look into Oklahoma judge's next text message scandal. Ooh, I have not heard about that. I'll have to dig into that a little bit more. Let's see. Lady Draconis, are you talking about the manhunt in Georgia, or are you talking about Chicago? Which area are you referencing? If you're willing to share. Maya's trial is on later today. They have a break first thing this morning, and it's going till after lunch. So 3:30 Eastern time, Maya's trial is going to pick up, and it's not going to be with the jury. It's just going to be some of the spicy argument before the judge. And the judge, he says the courtroom's going to be open, but I think he's going to be on Zoom. So I don't know what is going on exactly there, but we're going to have video from this afternoon, and we'll watch that. Is the Georgia reward still at $1,000? Oh my goodness, $1,000 is like gas money. For that is tiny compared to what it should be for 4 convicted convicts, including one. At least I think one was a murderer that cut their way out of prison. That is crazy. The judge in Oklahoma who got in trouble for texting, Tracy Soderstrom. I don't know this story. Was this texting during a trial, and she was like mocking like one side or the other? Is that the one? I've heard some little bits about that, but I don't know the details. The jury is at the beach today. It's a special trip. The judge said, "Enjoy your day at the beach." Peter has a video on it. I've never seen him so furious. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure this is a mistrial, right? Is that, or if it wasn't, there's cause for one now. Let's see. Blackbird Squeak says, Recovery Addict, here's the metric YouTube doesn't collect for you. 996 people here just to participate in the community, hear you talk, completely unrelated to specific content. Keep up the good work. We'd like to get to some of that content. I know there are several of you saying, when does the court video start? When does the court video start? And we're getting there. I promise we'll get there. It's just a little bit early. We're trying to let a couple of the courts jump online, and we'll see where we can go from there. Let's see. In fact, let me do a quick check again and see what we have as far as options go. We do have the Louisiana Board of Paroles going on right now. We haven't watched that in a little while. I know JLR Investigates is down outside the Jordan Vandersloot court hearing. Getting some video down there. Let's see. Judge DeSanto is in action right now. Let's see. Just keeping an eye on Board of Paroles to see. I don't think they've gone live yet with the video. They just have their lineup. And let me show you where we're at on that one for the lineup. Here we go. So it looks like, let me go full screen so I can read this. October 18th is today. We've got, turn this off. Jerry Lewis. Is it Jerry Lewis? Clifford Owens, Paul M. Bates, Jonathan E. Bryant, Charles Dean, and Ricky Banks on the docket, as well as, I guess, Robert Wagner. Man, these names sound familiar. Is it just me, or do all these names sound familiar? That is, hey, I'd love some. You made me breakfast, even though I fed the cat? Yes, please. Yes, I forgot about the cat. I got some scrambled eggs delivered to me, along with some Colby Jack shredded cheese. By hand. Delicious. Thank you, Mrs. R.A. All right, so I'll get breakfast after all. I'm not in the doghouse. No, don't read that. She says, no, don't read anything into that. Texting during a murder trial. Oh my goodness. We did the Hump Day chair first thing this morning. It was pretty good. I didn't go as high as I normally do because my voice was just on the recovery side. Wonder what bad details they have on Maya's family, or is it what we've already seen? The mother was rude. P. Will, for real, I think we're going to see more. Okay, first of all, yesterday, the nurse practitioner witness, and let me recall her name, just one second. Let me go live again here. There we go. The nurse practitioner witness who spoke, and I think her name was Bonnie Rice, Dr. Bonnie Rice. She did I think she's the best witness we've seen for the defense so far. Now, there's motions before the judge already. If you weren't able to stay till the end of the day, the plaintiff has actually made a motion saying we'd like to strike her testimony from the record. And the reason they did that is because the testimony was presented much like an expert witness might have testified, and clearly we could not hear the objections that happened during the testimony, but it sounds like the plaintiff objected quite a bit throughout that deposition, but it came in anyway. And so they renewed their objection, asked the judge to strike this because the witness was testifying on things that were well beyond, according to the plaintiff, well beyond her area of expertise that she would have knowledge and expertise in. And it was powerful testimony. It was well articulated testimony. I mean, she was well spoken. She was confident. She was, for the most part, the bias didn't show up until a little bit later on. You started to see a little more hint of that bias, but it came across initially as factual and believable. And I got messages from a lot of people saying, "Wow, that changes things. This gives me reason to pause." Okay, there's another side to the story, and I told you there was going to be. I think we will see more.
How many jurors will deliberate?
More of those witnesses. I believe 6 on this one, Mandy. I think it's going to be 6 deliberating, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Jules could straighten me out on that one. But there are, I think, 12. Are there 12 in there now, or 13? I forget. But only 6 will deliberate. Ella says, "I love watching Recovery Addict spend 6 hours eating his food." That's usually I wait till it gets cold and then I nibble on it. 500 texts during the trial. Oh my goodness.
Is that correct?
Oh my goodness. I don't think she's that mad at me. Judge Simpson is live now. We can look over at Judge Simpson. Give me just a second to peek at his courtroom. Let me find a different input. Judge Simpson. There's Mr. Cedric right there. Let's pull up and take a peek. I'm not sure. Let's see. It's Wednesdays. I'm not sure if he's doing. If it's just like rent stuff, we're not going to watch because that gets a little boring. But let's take a peek over here at Judge Simpson quickly.
Yes, sir. All right, then that's given what you've said. It's not a problem, and to give you an opportunity to speak with the prosecutor and see if this matter can be resolved. Let me adjourn this out and.
Carl, would you like to go?
Let's go at least a month.
Okay, then that would be November 15th.
All right. what I will do is I'll just adjourn this matter out to November 15th. He has other things to worry about, the least of which is this. So.
All right. And I will get a hold of you, Patricia. Thank you, Your Honor. And sorry for starting your day off this way.
No, not a problem, counsel. Thank you.
God bless the court. Bye-bye.
Court does call the case of the people versus Mohammed Hassan.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Your Honor. Joseph A. Siciliano appearing on behalf of the defendant, and also on the Zoom call is Mr. Hassan.
Mr. Hassan, can you state your name, please, sir?
Mohammed Hassan, sir.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, my understanding from the Dispute Resolution Center is that Mr. Hassan has completed his intake for the Restorative Justice Program. They are still completing intake for the other party. I think in order for that to be accomplished, if we could adjourn this out one time to the November 15th date.
Was this the case that Patricia Reiser tricked me? And not Patricia, but Kirby tricked me on?
Yes, this is the one, Your Honor.
This is the case?
This is the case.
All of what you just said is foreign to me.
It's a little foreign to me, too.
It made no sense. You might as well have been speaking French, because I didn't understand any of that. So...
Bottom line is, I guess we need an adjournment to resolve the case. And if
okay, all right, that I understand. Is that correct, Mr. Soriano?
Yeah, that's that. I've talked with Ms. Reiser, and we think that's the best course of action. My client has complied with his requirements, but I think they're still waiting for the other side.
Okay. All right. I think actually I shouldn't just blame Miss Kirby. I think counsel here was also in on that trickery. It was a whole thing in a breakout room. And the next thing I knew, I came out, I didn't know what happened. All right. What was the date in November?
November 15th.
Because I'm not sure how long this process takes. I'll adjourn it to November 15th.
At 9 a.m. again, Your Honor?
9 a.m. Yes,
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Bond continued.
Bye now.
Court calls the case, People versus Ray Hunter.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
John Evangelist on behalf of the defendant, who is also here and is now unmuted.
All right, Mr. Hunter, can you state your name, please?
Ray I. Hunter.
All right, counsel, as to the arraignment.
We ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty and waive reading of the charges.
Defendant having waived formal reading, pleading not guilty. Court will enter that not guilty plea. All right, what are we doing today on this?
I had reached out to Ms. Kirby to see about a possible resolution. But apparently she left the prosecutor's office, and then I reached out to Ms. Reiser. I didn't hear, but that was on Monday, and I didn't hear back as of yet. But we've not spoken as of this point.
All right, so you want an adjournment on this?
No, probably, yeah.
What day? 2 weeks out.
November 1st.
November 1st? All right. I'll adjourn this matter out to November 1st. Will that work, counsel?
Yeah, it will. That's fine. Thank you.
November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. as your Zoom invite indicates. As to bond in this case, I will set the defendant's bond at a $5,000 personal recognizance bond. In this matter, I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of weapons.
Your Honor, if I may, this was a traffic accident.
Pardon?
This was a traffic accident.
I fully understand that.
Okay.
I still have to set bond.
I know. Just want to make clear that there was no assaultive behavior or anything like that.
I don't know that that's being alleged. I'm just telling him he can't do it while he's on bond to me.
I will let him know.
All right. No alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. We'll do it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the People versus Claire Oliver.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Cameron Bell on behalf of Ms. Claire Oliver, who appears via Zoom. No objections to proceeding via Zoom this morning. Ms. Oliver, can you please state your name for the record, please?
Claire Oliver.
Good morning. All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, I did have an opportunity to speak with the prosecutor on this matter. I believe Ms. Reiser wasn't the prosecutor at that time, but I was trying to seek a resolution short of what the charge is. But I was informed that this court does not do any delayed sentences of any sort or anything like that. So given that, Your Honor,
we have a deferred sentence program. I don't do delayed as it technically would be, but.
Well, I guess given that, Your Honor, would the court be willing to consider a deferred sentence in this matter?
I also don't cops.
We would not agree to a deferred sentence in this case. There's no agreement to a deferred sentence.
Okay.
We would not agree to a deferred sentence.
Okay. That's going to be the problem because it's a prosecutor's deferred.
No problem, Your Honor. So based upon that, Your Honor, I'd have went over the plea form with Ms. Oliver, and we're prepared at this time to go forward with a no contest plea, Your Honor, on the basis of lack of memory to the charge.
Okay. So
this guy has his,
here's the problem.
His billboard behind
I don't have a police report that I could take a plea with. I don't have anything. So.
Your Honor, could I send it over to your staff and we can still proceed, or how would the court like to go?
What would I like to do, or what will I do?
what will
Those
you
might
do?
be two different things. All right. Yeah. Shall we let him do it? Think so? Oh, you like him? I don't like him. So I would no. So I'm just. All right, let's do this. Well, we'll put the email in, send it over, and then we'll try to get the plea out today, counsel. All right.
Okay, I'll get it right over, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Pass that matter. Court does call the case of People versus Mohammed Dayan.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
David I. Goldstein appearing on behalf of the defendant.
Mohammed Dayan.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, this matter had been held up for a while because Mr. Dayan was trying to resolve the matters in circuit court, which has now been done. That's taken care of. But in the meantime, Ms. Kirby ran away and hid, and I have not had a chance to talk to Ms. Reiser about the situation.
Everyone's blaming their negligence on Ms. Kirby.
Maybe a week or two, and I can get with her and discuss the matter.
I'll just say that my understanding was that Mr. Dayan was going to be pleading to a retail fraud third.
Okay, I didn't know. I tried to find out from you if that was on the table. Yes, that is correct.
Because any offer that Ms. Kirby made is fine with me.
Okay, I'm fine. I just needed a confirmation of that. That's fine, Your Honor. That's what we're going to do.
All right, very good. So he's going to plead to retail fraud third. It's 10:18.
That's correct.
Thank you. Dismiss. So the added count 2 of retail fraud in the third degree, he'll plead to that. Count 1 would then be dismissed. All right. Mr. Dayan, can you please raise your... Oh, you need to turn on your camera, sir. Thank you. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name again for the record.
Mohammed Dayan.
All right. You can put your hand down. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of retail fraud third degree. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days of jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $500, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that, sir?
Yeah.
Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
He is now, Your Honor, but it's not clear that he was at the time of the offense.
December 24th of 2022, were you on probation?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything? Has anybody promised you anything to get you to plead guilty other than dismissal of count 1?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
And also because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes.
December 24th, 2022, at the location of 3825 Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan. What did you do at the Meijer store that makes you think that you're guilty?
Mr. Diane, did you use the self-scan at the store?
Yes.
And did you use a price tag on the self-scan that was less than the price tag that was on the objects that you were buying?
Yes.
And those were objects that were offered for sale by Meijers?
What?
Were those things that were offered for sale by Meijers?
Yes.
And was Meijers open to the public at the time you did this?
Yes.
I think that covers it, Your Honor.
I think so. You didn't have anybody's permission to do that, sir, did you?
Nah.
All right, counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
People are satisfied.
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be
December 13th.
December 13th, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond will continue. Thank you. Oh, yes. Mr. Diane?
Yes.
I'm going to send you into a breakout room with my probation intake so that they can start that process. Okay, sir?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Abdelmohsen Osman.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
David I. Goldstein appearing on behalf of the defendant. I thought I saw it. Yeah, he is. Mr. Osman, you need to turn on your camera and unmute. Your Honor, if we could pass this, I'll call him.
All right. Very good. Yeah, I'll do that. Court does call the case. People versus Kyle Jackson.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, could you please state your name for the court?
Kyle Jackson.
Got it. One plus. Okay. All right. What are we doing?
Judge, in this case, Mr. Jackson has reached out to the VA where he received services as a veteran. They're getting him into counseling. He continues to go to AA meetings and he's sending me confirmations of those. I'm hoping to adjourn again just to make sure that those things can get in progress and stick before I reach out to Ms. Reiser or whoever might be the APA for a resolution.
So you're looking at adjournment on this matter?
Yes.
Will the first be enough time for you?
Could we do the 15th, Your Honor? Just last one.
November 15, 2023, 9 a.m. Without objection, bond will continue with its conditions because you're currently on the scram tether, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, that'll remain in place. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Court does call the case of the People versus John Scott.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Sam Bernstein for Mr. Scott, Your Honor. Mr. Scott, could you please state your name for the court?
John Scott.
Okay, and what are we doing?
Judge, with Miss Kirby leaving, and I had a difficult time getting a hold of Miss Reiser this week. She was busy.
No, she's been there. You just didn't call.
I did. I called on Monday. They said she was in court, and I was with you all day.
Of course she was. She was with me. Anyway, go ahead.
I promise.
Quit trying to blame Ms. Reiser.
No, I'm not blaming Ms. Reiser. I'm just showing the effort that I put into it by calling.
Oh,
very little effort.
I'm really,
okay.
I'm really blaming Ms. Kirby for everything here. So,
okay.
Last adjournment request, I promise. November 1st is totally fine.
All right.
Ms. Reiser,
very good.
I promise.
I'll adjourn the matter November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond continued. All right. Thank you, Mr. Scott. I'm going to do a recall. Yes. Court recalls the case of People versus Claire Oliver.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Cameron Bell on behalf of Ms. Claire Oliver. Ms. Oliver, can you please state your name for the record one more time?
Claire Oliver.
And she's going to plead no contest as charged.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Ms. Oliver, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do.
State your name again for the record, please.
Claire Oliver.
Ms. Oliver, it's this court's understanding you're going to plead no contest to the charge of operating by a minor with any blood alcohol content. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 360 hours of community service. Fines and costs of $250. Court could also order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I also should say the court can order any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Two things I need to make sure that you understand. It first of all means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
The other thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I think the basis for the no contest plea has already been stated on record by counsel. So, Ms. Oliver, to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything to get you to plead no contest to this charge?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes.
And of your own free will?
Yes.
Court has been provided and it has had an opportunity to review Michigan Department of State Police report for their case number 8792-22. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
The people are satisfied.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Well, actually, to Von Swartz for an alcohol screening and assessment and the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be December 13th, 2023, 9 a.m. or as your Zoom invite indicates. All right. What I will do then, Bond will continue in this matter. Pardon? Ms. Oliver, I need you to hang online. We're going to place you into a breakout room with our probation intake. Once they're done with the previous case or other matters, they'll come out. We'll put you into a breakout room so we can start this process, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Your Honor. Pleasure.
And And really, I like you. It's just my staff said they like you better. I'm just saying, all right.
I appreciate it. Judge, you may not remember me, but I used to be a extern with Laura Dudley back in 2014, 15-ish. So I used to be in front of you a lot.
Did you? Okay, I do not remember you, but okay. All right. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. I liked you then too. All right. Anyway. All right. You
have a great day, Judge.
Okay. Osman. Court recalls the case People versus Osman.
Mr. Reiser on behalf of the people.
David I. Goldstein, I'm appearing on behalf of the defendant.
All right. Mr. Osman, can you state your name, please?
Abdul Mahsin Osman.
All right. Okay, what are we doing on this case?
Your Honor, I had dealt with Ms. Kirby in this matter. We had adjourned this matter several times because she did not want to resolve the matter until he showed his seriousness about getting treatment. He did enroll in a program. He is in that program. I did submit that information to Ms. Kirby, but I don't know if Ms. Reiser has had an opportunity to review the file.
I am aware that he was accepted into treatment at Dawn Farm, but I'd like to see how that treatment is going before agreeing to any kind of resolution.
That was sort of Ms. Kirby's position also. Yeah.
All right. Why don't I adjourn this out to November 15th?
I'm going to be on vacation that week, Your Honor. Anything after
Of course you are.
Hey, Judge, after yesterday, I deserve it.
Well, I don't? All right. Anyway.
I didn't say that.
I know.
Judge.
I know. He can zoom in from vacation and that's Goldstein. It's all about him. All right. December 6th, 2023, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Sorry about last night.
We'll continue.
Sorry about last night, but
hey, it happens. I enjoyed myself, so we're good.
It was a good day.
Right,
it was a good day.
Court calls the case People versus Jason Stevens. This is
Mr. Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Stevens.
Are you on this case? Because we had no counsel listed, but this is a PD case.
Yeah, I checked JIS and we were assigned at arraignment.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. Whatever was in ours did not. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I did have a chance. Or Mr. Stevens, can you state your name for the record?
Jason Stevens.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Garen, I did have a chance to speak with Mr. Stevens and Ms. Reiser. We are asking for an adjournment to obtain some other discovery, please.
Adjourn the matter November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond with its conditions will continue. All right. Thank you, Mr. Stevens. Court calls the case People versus Martell Williams.
We love
Your
Judge
Honor,
Simpson.
I'm wondering if this is a township case. I cannot find a file in our system.
I have it as a state case. Let me see.
Mr. Williams is like, hey, no file?
No, this is...
No file, no fine. I'm out of here.
We entered it wrong. The complaint is clearly a township, but it was entered as a state case.
We do have Maya trial today, but it starts at 3:30.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township, I do not have that file with me today, so I'd ask that the court adjourn it.
Mr. Williams, do you have not been appointed counsel in this case, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Because I don't think, as I'm looking at the files, things are messed up about it, but it appears to me I had to issue 2 bench warrants, but you've not been arraigned on this matter. All right. So let me at least begin that part of the process. All right. State your name, sir.
Martell Williams.
All right. Sir, you are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about May 25th, 2023, at the location of West Michigan Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did commit the offense of operating while intoxicated. Do you understand the nature of that charge, sir?
Yes, I do.
That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service or any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. The court could also immobilize your vehicle, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. Do you understand all of that, sir?
I understand.
All right. First question I have for you, sir, is do you wish to be represented by counsel?
Yes.
All right. This is a public defender case.
Good morning. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Williams. We will waive any further reading and stand mute and request another pretrial date, Your Honor.
And in every way, form of reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea in this matter. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond in this case, I had an alleged BAC of 0.186. I'll set the defendant's bond at a personal recognizance $20,000 bond. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapon. Sir, there is to be no possession of any, I need an order, please. There is to be no possession of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. You understand that, sir?
I understand.
I am also going to order that you report over to the Department of Community Corrections for placement on a sober link alcohol tether. You're to do that within 24 hours. I am signing that order now. You understand that, sir?
I understand.
The clock starts now. You know those cooking shows where they're like, you've got like 2 hours. It starts now.
All right, thank you.
This guy needs to start running. He's got 24 hours. Turn himself in. Party is over.
Court calls the case, People versus Genevieve Donald.
Mr. Reiser on behalf of the people.
Mr. Donnell.
Bench warrant. Bench warrant. Oh, she's here.
Genevieve Donnell.
She steps away from her phone.
Here's prompting.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Who's has asked you to start your minute? Okay, sorry. I don't know how to use this. Yeah,
Okay,
so.
you did okay. What's your name?
My name is Genevieve Donald.
All right. Ma'am, you are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about September 4th, 2023, at the location of 1675 Cypress Point Court, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did make an assault and or an assault and battery upon a Kathy Donnell. Do you understand the nature of that charge, ma'am?
Yes.
That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. First question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney?
What? Yes.
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 All right. This is a public defender case.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Donnell, and we will waive any further readings, stand mute, and request another pretrial date, Your Honor.
Defendant having waived former reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea in this matter. Pretrial in this case will be adjourned to November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. It's the bond in this case. I'll set a bond at a $5,000 personal recognizance bond. I will order standard conditions, including no assault behavior or possession of weapons. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
That's a yes?
Yes. Yes.
There should be no possession of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. You understand that?
Yes.
Is there any reason you need to have any contact with Kathy Donnell?
At this time, no. I mean,
At
she's
this
my
time,
mom.
no.
Well, she's
Then
my
I'm
mom.
going to order no. I'm going to order no contact with
Okay.
Kathy Donnell. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes. Mhm.
All right.
She may
Anything
be on
further
something.
regarding bond? Okay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Would you consider ordering drug testing? My understanding is cocaine or some other controlled substance was a factor here.
She says no. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope.
What was the alleged substance?
Cocaine.
Got it. All right. Mr. Donnell, I'm going to order that you report over to community corrections for drug testing. You understand that?
Yes. Like, I just go there today or what?
Yes, you're going to have to report over today and make sure that you have funds to pay for the testing. Because of the nature of the drug involved, I'm going to order testing 2 times per week.
Okay.
Random. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Maybe a
Thank
factor
you.
right now.
Court does call the case. People versus Jason Westlake. Excuse me. Can't test it.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mark, this was Jason Westlake, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
2 cases.
Yeah.
Genevieve's having some technical
Marcia
difficulties.
Frazier, case number
Ending in 764.
764. That is correct, Your Honor. And I think the public defender has another case up as well.
Yes, good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Westlake
I hope she
on
gets the help that she needs.
0659.
Mr. Westlake, please state your name, sir.
Jason Scott Westlake.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, Mr. Westlake has a case that's currently up in circuit court. We're attempting to resolve it. We'd ask for a 2-week adjournment. If that is not able to be resolved up in circuit court, then we would resolve these cases down here at that time, Your Honor. That's on my.
I would join in that request, Your Honor.
When is the case up? And what date is that up for?
It's actually currently set for trial, Your Honor. We are continuing in negotiations with Ms. Londy up in circuit court, and we should have an answer on some requests no later than 2 weeks, Your Honor.
November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m.
Your Honor, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Let's call the case of the people versus Gary Lee Hall.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
This is an arraignment pretrial without counsel, and Hall is not present.
Gary Lee Hall.
This is arraignment pretrial without counsel. Who is
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Ms. Reiser, do you have the alleged BAC?
Yes, Your Honor, it's 0.14, 0.15.
That's high. That's almost double.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $15,000. I'll give a 10% privilege at this time on this. Given the nature of the charge, that warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case of the people versus Nicholas Clements.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
This is an arraignment pretrial and is present.
Clements?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a camera?
Oh, yes, sir. Hi.
Hello, what's your name?
Nicholas Clements. Nicholas
All right, Mr. Clements, you are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that on or about June 27, 2023, at the location of Michigan Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that you did operate a motor vehicle while intoxicated. Do you understand the nature of that charge, sir?
I believe so. I don't know. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand that you're charged with driving while intoxicated, or what's commonly known as drunk driving? Do you understand that?
Correct, but I wasn't. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not asking whether or not you were or not. I'm indicating
you need a lawyer.
Understand that's what you're
He's going to get a lawyer.
with.
Understood.
All right. It is alleged in this case that you were under the influence of a controlled substance. You understand that, sir?
I do.
All right. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service, any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. Your vehicle could be subject to immobilization. The court could also order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that, sir?
I believe so.
Well, do you understand that those are the possible penalties, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any questions regarding the charges or the possible penalties, sir?
Not this moment.
All right. First question I have for you, sir, is do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
This is where you
I
say
do.
yes. Okay.
This is a public defender case.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Clements. We will waive any further readings, stand mute, and request a pretrial date, Your Honor.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond in this case, what is the alleged drug?
Your Honor, it's marijuana and amphetamines.
Got it.
Man.
Bond in this case will be set in the amount of $10,000 personal recognizance bond. I'll order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or use of any weapons or possession of weapons. You understand that, sir?
I do.
There is also to be no possession of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You understand that, sir?
I do.
I'm further going to order that the defendant is to report over to the Department of Community Corrections, for one time per week testing on this case. All right. You need to report within 24 hours, sir.
Where do I find that information?
Okay. Do you have
Google?
Do you have something to write with? Let me give you a phone number to call.
Go ahead.
Community Corrections phone number is area code 734-973 4520.
All right.
All right. I'm going to give you another phone number to call. I need you to contact the public defender's office.
Okay, sir.
All right. And that number is area code 734-222-6970.
We're not going to call it. We're not going to call it.
When you call them, I need you to give them your name, a valid phone number, and a valid email address so they can contact you. Understood?
Understood.
All righty. Thank you. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Court does call the case of the people versus Marcellus Martin.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, can you unmute and state your name for the record, please?
I have this as a Pittsfield case.
Conrad Siller on behalf of.
Yeah, I was going to say I jumped the gun. Sorry, Mr. Siller.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
It's all right.
All right. What are we doing on this case?
Your Honor, it's my fault. I did not know Mr. Martin was in custody. I was trying to call him, but didn't answer. He didn't answer. And I can only assume now that it was because he was in the jail. So I would ask for an adjournment to allow us to speak. I'm not sure at this time what he's in for, if he's being held in this
I'll
case.
adjourn the matter in I'll adjourn the matter to November 1st, 2023 at 9 a.m. Mr. Martin, state your name, please.
Marcellus Martin.
All right, Mr. Martin, you're not in on this case because it's a PR. What are you in on currently?
Well, right now I'm waiting on Ipsy Police to bring my paperwork in. I supposed to have got out here yesterday, but they don't have the paperwork in. So today I goes in today at 1 o'clock for domestic violence. Hopefully the paperwork is in. If not, they say they're gonna let me go because I've been here for 48 hours with no paperwork. So I don't know what's taking these guys so long to drop off the paperwork, but obviously.
Okay, no, I don't know because I don't think that's my case. It might be an afternoon arraignment. Okay, so here. I don't know, sir. The only thing I was looking at is trying to figure out what you were in on because you have a PR bond here, and I was going to change it to a nominal bond so you got credit. But it sounds like to me that you might be released. So I'm going to leave your bond at a PR on my case right now, okay? And we'll do that. And I'll set this for November 1st, and we'll see you then. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He wants his paperwork.
Court calls the case, People versus Nathulian Mason.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
It's an arraignment in counsel without arraignment retrial without counsel, and she is not currently signed in, but she has had contact with the clerk's office this morning.
To say what?
Attempting to sign in. I believe.
All right. This is set for arraignment pre-trial. This individual has had contact with the clerk's office, but is not here currently. So what I will do is I'll adjourn this arraignment pre-trial out to November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. All right. And we'll see if they can get themselves on by that time. Hello.
I'm here.
What's your name?
I am AI.
What's your name, man? You're Miss Mason? Okay, Miss Mason, I can't you need to be arraigned on this charge. And so I can't make out, you've got a very weak Wi-Fi signal. She dropped, right?
At least she made an effort. As long as you make an effort with this judge,
right.
He's not going to do the bench warrant.
Send her a chat that I've adjourned her matter out to the 1st. She's back on. She dropped again. So just do that, and we'll see if we can get a better connection on that day. Court does call the case. People versus Mario Brown.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, if you can unmute yourself or get one of the jail staff too, and then state your name in full.
Mario Brown.
Your Honor, this is set up for a pretrial. We would be asking for adjournment so that we can continue negotiations.
I'll adjourn this matter then to November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. Defendant's bond with its conditions will continue.
Okay. And Mr. Brown, I'll come in the jail tomorrow to go over what's going on.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Court calls the case, People versus Misty Perkins.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
This is an arraignment retrial without counsel, and Ms. Perkins is not checked in.
Ms. Perkins is not here. This is an arraignment.
Bench warrant.
A bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond in this case will be set in the amount of $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue on the 20th. Court does call the case of the People versus Eric Thompson.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
This is an arraignment retrial without counsel, and Mr. Thompson is not checked in.
Eric Thompson, they're not here. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue October 20th, 2023.
The jail's instructing this inmate to
now we're
look his best.
Floated to the 10 o'clock block.
Button up the shirt.
His name is McAllister.
It's always good to show respect before the
Court does
judge.
call the case, People versus Trey McAllister.
Supervisor on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. McAllister. Mr. McAllister, can you state your name for the record?
Hi there, my name is Trey Lamar McAllister.
And he's just happy to be here.
I have before me a referral to a treatment court.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. McAllister has a pending felony that has been referred to mental health treatment court, and we are also referring him on this case. I did send over the paperwork for your review and possible signature at your convenience, and then it will be working its way through the referral process. His felony was adjourned to the PCC to the 26th, so next week. So I was hoping to get a date after that to see if he's accepted.
All right. I'll adjourn this then to November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. I'll mark this file that there's a mental health court referral, and I've signed that. I've signed off. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Bond. We'll continue. Thank you, Mr. McAllister.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Corellis McCants. Pittsfield Township matter.
Should be Vincent's office.
This is McCants.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield.
Corellis McCants. Mr. Hall. I think I saw Mr. Hall.
Got a library tour for Mr. Joseph Hall. He has all the law books. I think those are just encyclopedias.
Just emailing with Mr. Hall.
Oh, no. That's what was taking so long. It's Vincent.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Vincent, not man, of Ms. McCants.
Hey, good morning.
Say good morning to the
Good morning.
judge. State your name.
Corellis
State your
McCants.
name, please. Thank you.
Corellis.
All right. What are we doing on this case? She has not been arraigned. You waive formal reading, stand mute, Mr. Vincent.
Exactly. Yes, Your Honor.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea. All right. And what are we doing on this case?
We need an adjournment so Ms. McCants could obtain a driver's license. I received a email from Mr. Siller stating that if this is possible, a good chance for a plea bargain that won't affect your driver's license.
That's correct.
I'll adjourn this matter out to November 15th, 2023, 9 a.m.
Is it possible to have a later date? Because I think I don't do those, Joe does them, but it takes a while. The Secretary of State's got so many hoops to jump through.
Are you asking or is your staff asking?
My staff is asking.
He likes the
then
staff
I'll do
much better than him.
December, what is it?
December 6th.
December 6th, 2023, 9 a.m. You know, that's what makes Mr. Vincent a good attorney. He knew what the answer should be.
Absolutely. As far as
bond in this case will be set at a personal recognizance, $5,000 bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Okay.
Court calls the case. People versus James Lawson.
They actually do like each other. But he likes to give him a hard time.
Trisha Reiser on behalf of the people.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Lawson. Your Honor.
Name?
Yes, it's James Craig Lawson for the record, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, what are we doing on this case?
Your Honor, this is a case where the defendant had originally pled to a felony charge. We thought that all the misdemeanors was going to be included, but it looks like this one was left out. I did review it. It's only a fines and cost only case. We would be asking for his immediate release and a personal bond on this. He's been in the jail for the last 135 days. He did plea inside the felony case. And then also we would be asking for a possible reduction in fines and costs.
Mr. Reiser is probably not going to be a fan of this.
Is this set for a show cause?
It is a show cause on fines and costs. There is restitution going.
It's an issue that there's restitution that's owing on this, counsel. So I'm not sure how much I can reduce it. There's $51 of restitution. What's he being held on?
Only this. He's been in there for the last 14 days on only this charge.
Because he didn't show up.
Well,
Right.
He was originally being held on a few different charges, but this is the only thing outstanding as of today. On October 4th is when he pled to the felony.
All right. So when are you going to get payments in, Mr. Lawson?
I tell you what, if I can get out of here, I can go back to work. I got a man waiting on me that I've worked for 11 years, $20 an hour. I could probably get it paid off within the next 30 days.
Okay.
December 13th. Well, I mean, November 8th. But...
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn this to November 8th, 2023. He needs to come up with a plan. That's a sentencing date or sentencing show cause date. I'll set his bond at a personal recognizance, $5,000 bond. Okay. Thank you. That'll get him out. He needs to get some payments in.
Okay. Can I ask a question here real quick? Am I good to go?
Everything in Washtenaw is
out of my screen or from the jail?
Are they going to release me today so I can get on this?
I can only tell you this. They will not be holding you on this case. I don't know what else you have.
Okay. Can I ask if the attorney can come and see me so we can figure this out?
Yes, I'll be able to come see you
tomorrow.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Court calls the case. People versus Aaron Porter.
It's filed in my office.
Mr. Reiser, on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, Michael Vincent on behalf of Mr. Porter.
The judge is already
Mr.
smiling.
Porter, can you state your name?
Aaron Porter.
Okay. What are we doing?
Today is the date and time for the pretrial. We are asking for a jury trial date.
Ooh. Jury trial.
Actually, my staff is asking for a pretrial date.
Jury final settlement conference, December 8th, 2023, 9 a.m. Jury selection, December 11th, 2023, 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of the people versus Willie Hopkins.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Hopkins. Mr. Hopkins, if you can unmute yourself or get one of the jail staff to, and then state your name in full.
Say it again, please.
If you can state your name in full.
Oh, Willie B. Hopkins.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, Mr. Hopkins would like to take a plea. Mr. Siller did agree to it. It's allowing an ineligible driver to drive in exchange for dismissal of count 1.
That's correct, Your Honor. So I'd move to add a count 2 of MCL 257.326. Of course, if you accept that guilty plea, I'd move to dismiss the original charge.
That's how the deals work.
Mr. Hopkins, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name again for the record.
Willie B. Hopkins.
All right, Mr. Hopkins, it's this court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail, $500 fine plus or $100 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Right.
You understand that, sir? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yes.
Okay. Because of that, you're also giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other
No,
than
sir.
what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
Doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And because you're guilty of this offense?
Yes, sir.
All right. On August 8th, 2023, at the location of Washington Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, state of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
I did, sir.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible, maybe yourself, to operate that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is sufficient. Thank you.
Court will
Maybe
accept the
yourself.
defendant's plea of guilty to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Sir, anything you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
What is he in on? Just this case or something else?
He's got an armed robbery case, Your Honor.
Oh, nice.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was up for exam.
So here's what I'll do. Mr. Hopkins, I'm going to sentence you to, how long have you been in so far?
Since August 8th.
Oh, how long? 60? Okay. So he's done 60?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 60, 70 actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I will do then, sir, is I'll sentence you to do state minimums of $125 and then 90 days in jail, credit 70, defendant to serve balance. All right. And then you're all set with this case. All right, Mr. Hopkins? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus James Wade.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Vincent on behalf of Mr. Wade, who is coming into my conference room.
How many does he have?
His last one.
This is his last. Wow. But then Hall is coming?
Yep.
Why?
The judge really likes these attorneys. They're good friends. So he jokes.
Mr. Wade, Mr. Wade, state your name and say good morning to the judge.
My name is James Wade. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. All right. What are we doing on this, Mr. Vincent?
Mr. Wade is seeking to have his license restored. Working with Mr. Hall to get that done. So we need an adjournment. Hopefully, if he gets that, we can work out something with the prosecutor that won't affect his license. He also has a speeding ticket. So,
yeah, I'd adjourn both of them out, but you want it the 6th of December?
Is that right? Is that okay? Yes, that's okay.
It's okay because I already gave one date. I just asked, you know what? And never mind. December 6th, 2023, 9 a.m. He looked over at him like that was a new date. I was, you know what? This is what I'm talking about.
I'm very old, Your Honor.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying. All right. I'll adjourn both the matters over to that date. Is that it for Mr. Vincent?
Mr. Vincent, yes.
Okay.
Now
Always
we
a
have
pleasure,
Mr.
sir.
Hall,
Yes, likewise.
his partner.
Thank you. Court calls the case. People versus Anthony Williams.
Mr. Anthony, what are you in
Patricia
for?
Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, can you state your name for the record, please?
Anthony Williams.
Thank you. Your Honor, I believe we have a resolution to this case. We are just asking for one last adjournment.
I'll adjourn the matter over to, will November 1st be enough time for you?
That will, thank you.
Turn it over to November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams doesn't seem happy about this.
Court calls the cases of the people
that's 2 more weeks in
versus
jail.
William Joseph Lambert.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Here's
And good morning, Your Honor. Joseph Hall appearing for and on behalf of Mr. Lambert in his absence today with court permission. Judge, to give you an update on where we've been, I went back and forth with Ms. Kirby prior to her exit from the office. We made some progress.
You made it sound so bad.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
okay, prior to her
Let me
accepting
rephrase.
a new job. Okay,
That's
go
on
ahead.
good terms. Yeah, on good terms, right? And so, Judge, there's a lot of moving parts here. We got 5 cases. We have 3 uncharged. We have a SoberLink device that's going to be handled privately outside of this bond order that's coming. All I need, I think, is a quick conversation after today's docket with Ms. Reiser to iron out the final points of that order. But Ms. Kirby and I had a few back and forth conversations about ultimately getting all these numbers right. One question I'd like to ask before we move forward, will the Guardian is asking, will one check be able to cover these, or do these need to be written individually to post the bond for that will eventually be used for restitution purposes?
Well, first of all, if you're going to post, you're trying to do that through the court?
Yeah. So what was contemplated was that once Mr. Lambert or through his guardian posts a bond sufficient to cover the restitution, not only from the charged cases, but for the uncharged, there are 3 uncharged matters as well that we're tracking these. At that point, that the people would dismiss the cases. And so drafting an order to, and Your Honor asked specifically that each case have the number allotted to that individually identified in the order. That's been the part that there was some back and forth. But yes, it would be a bond.
And that I was going to allow it to be paid by certified funds.
Okay, by certified check, and the Guardians are capable.
It has
of
to be
that.
a certified check. Now, the question is,
So as long as the check is only going towards restitution, it can be one check for multiple cases. But if that money is also going to include fines and costs, that has to be a separate check.
Okay.
So we should be good, because the contemplation was that these cases would be dismissed and therefore no fines and costs known to defense counsel.
All right. So if that's the case, then yes, it can be one certified check for all of the cases.
Okay. And I will contact Ms. Reiser later this week to work out the details.
Right. The order should specifically lay out the amount and who it's payable to, so that
Certainly.
the court makes sure that that's done.
And,
All right.
and so, Judge, I am going to identify these by case number. The issue is that one of them is from an uncharged matter, so I will just indicate that as such. It has no case number at this point, but the rest of the dollar amounts correspond to a specific case currently before Your Honor.
Okay. So how much time is it going to take you guys to get all that done?
2 weeks should be more than enough, Judge. The Guardian's on board to move quickly.
And Mr. Hall,
but
I do have.
It's you I'm worried about, Hall.
Seriously.
Okay.
Mr. Lewis is like, what is going on?
So my staff just brought up one good point. If I don't have the money that's paid on an uncharged case, we can't take in because we have nothing to receipt it to.
Okay.
So that's going to have to be handled in a different way unless somebody wants to charge another case, but he's got like whatever. So
I'd rather, I think Ms. Reiser and I can work that out as far as a restitution check. Maybe it's payable directly to the corporation or something of that nature. But I don't think we need to arraign him and get all that going in order to.
Got it. Okay. So what I will do on all of his 6 matters before me is I will adjourn those out to November 1st, 2023 at 1:00.
Thank you so much, Judge, Ms. Reiser. And
you did like a Vincent thing of looking over at your staff to make sure it was a good day.
It's not my first rodeo, Judge.
Yeah. I got you. All right.
Mr. Hall, I did receive your email.
No, at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Bond will continue. November 1st.
Joe, you were going to get me a letter from the facility. Remember that?
Yes, that is forthcoming. The Guardians had to get HIPAA waived, and it's from Arizona, so there were some moving pieces there. I'll get you that letter, Conrad.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm going to turn their sound off just for a minute here. Valerie, Ivy, the trial, the Elijah McClain trial that you're talking about. First of all, yes, the taping is going very well. I am planning on taping every day of court. There's only a handful of us that are have been authorized by the court to do that. Otherwise, they've got some really strong language about contempt of court. But I am taping it. I'm posting it over on my other channel for right now, which I'm just going to link in chat really quickly. Now, this channel is going to be a very different channel than what we have here, and it won't have me talking on all the time as well. So if you want to watch that case, that's where I'm posting it right now. I may, on this channel, go back and play that case later. If we have a period with no trials, we might bring that up and follow that case right there. Anyway, so we're recording that. We have a specific order from the judge in the Colorado case that we're authorized to do that, and it's very few people that are allowed to do that. So it took some great paperwork. I blame Amber for all of that, for making that happen. But we have it over there. That other channel is going to be something that's a little bit more political, but that's currently where I'm holding those videos right now. So it didn't cause problems with what's going on here. So thank you very much. We are going to get the whole case. I'm just getting ready to start recording. I think they start at 10 o'clock today, which means I think I have an hour and a half or so before they start. But I'll be recording today's trial as well there, and we'll post it at the end of the day. So thank you very much for that.
From the Target store.
Okay.
On Carpenter. All right. Thank you.
I do have court on the 23rd.
In a different court, Mr. Lewis. That's in 14B.
It's the same case, though.
It is not.
Judge like.
Oh, we'll have time to talk this week, Mr. Lewis. I'll explain everything to you. Okay.
So I gotta stay in jail till the 1st.
You're being held on your 14B case, so it's up to Judge Washington.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case, People versus Anna Lee Burgess.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Deborah Schlossel on behalf of the defendant, Ms. Annalee Burgess. Ms. Burgess, state your name.
Annalee Burgess. Good morning.
Good morning. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we would like to adjourn this out as far as possible. My client needs to do something with her license, and the earliest she can do it, it's in Rhode Island, and it's at the end of December.
I can't hear you. You're muffled now.
She was covering
Can
her
you hear me
microphone.
now, Your Honor?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry. My client needs to do something with her license at the end of December. The earliest she can do it is at the end of December. Can we adjourn this out as far as possible, please?
I don't know that I can go that far.
Weeks.
What's the farthest day you can go?
Couple months. 2 months.
I can get into December, but what's my second date in December?
All because of the holiday, we only have one. So it would be December 6th. Then the next one's January 3rd.
All right. Here's what I'll do, Ms. Lussell. Don't like to do it, but I'll do January 3rd, 2024, 9 a.m.
Crime Sleuthin, thank you so much for your support. Good to see that courthouse change colors by your name.
All right. Thank you. Bond continued.
Some of these are arraignment pretrials.
Ali, see, the other channel is going to allow political discussion. It will also cover more political matters, even though it's not going to be like a red or a blue
Court
channel.
does call the case People versus Alex.
It's just going to allow a little more discussion, so it'll be very different. than this one.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Deborah Schlossel on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Alex Eber. Mr. Eber, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Alex Eber. For the...
Thank you. Your Honor, today is the date and time set for, I believe, the first pretrial. Your Honor, the case has just started, and so and I gotten discovery. I need to confer with the prosecutor and my client. So I would ask that you adjourn this out 30 days, or maybe a little less, little more, for plea negotiations. And I believe, Your Honor, you also had a bond violation for my client this morning.
I don't have anything indicating a bond violation. Why? What did he do?
That may have been taken care of.
Your Honor, then I think it is resolved.
It was a failure to report for a sober link, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Was it
Dr. McDreamy?
Yeah, my client was
I know the channel well.
arrested, and he was.
That rooster is
I think
hilarious.
it's resolved now. I wasn't on that hearing, so I didn't know it was an MIDC attorney.
All right.
They released me
That's agenda free
on that
TV,
bond, so it should be resolved.
All right. November 15th, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond continued with its conditions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
They have merch for Steve. That's
Okay, court
hilarious.
does call the cases of the people versus Vinciguerra, Domenico Vinciguerra.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
There's no
Patricia
getting in
Reiser
trouble
on
on the
behalf of
channel
the
as long as
people.
you're polite.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Vinciguerra.
All right. So starting, there are three.
Little B, that case is still continuing.
Other
It's going to continue
cases
this
that he
afternoon at
has.
3:30, and we're gonna be streaming that live.
A disturbing the peace and trespassing, a retail fraud second degree. Those are both state cases, and another state case, I think, no, a Pittsfield case of trespassing and retail fraud. So he has not yet been arraigned on. Okay, so I think I would like to do it this way if we could. I can arraign him on all of these. Mr. Vinciguerra?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you going to wish to be represented by the public defender's office on your new cases?
Yes, the same public defender if possible, Your Honor.
So on those three cases, those are cases ending in 1273, 1297, and 1360. These are all public defender cases.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have a chance to speak with Mr. Vinciguerra about these cases. So at this time, we would waive any form of reading and stand mute. And I would ask for another pretrial now that we have all cases together so we can work something out between Mr. Siller and Ms. Reiser and I.
The defendant having waived from a reading on the new cases and standing mute, the court will enter a not guilty plea on those cases. Let me set bond conditions. What I will do, hang on so we don't get these all messed up. What I will do is I will adjourn all matters out to November. How much time did you need? I was going to go to November 1st. You want longer than that, or will that work for you?
I think that'll work. I'm hoping that these are the last batch of cases that needed to be sworn out and arraigned on. So I think we can work something out. He is being held on a 15th district court case. I believe the next court date on that is the 23rd.
Of this one.
25th.
All right. So what I will do, given that at this juncture, I'll set PRs on. What do I have? Has he got PRs on his other case?
I believe you set him at 5,010%, so he could.
Yes, I did. So I'll set these also at 5,010% because so that we can get everything, and he's getting credit on those. All right. So I'm adjourning everything out. You said to the first will work?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. I will adjourn all of the cases out to November 1st.
The judge is very busy on the first. Most of those will push out as well.
Start with 1273. I've set the bond amount. I will order on all of these cases standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or possession of any weapons, no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. On that case, defendant is not to enter any Meijer store.
Thank you.
In the state of Michigan. Okay, that's on that case. On
and stay out of Myers.
The other case, let's go to 1297. I've ordered standard conditions as on all case, no alcohol, recreational marijuana. On that case, he is not to enter. That's also any Meijer store in the state of Michigan.
So James and Cynthia, they had their cases pretty much
on the last
dropped
case,
with a fine. They paid a fine. There's no court case. There's no jail
no
time.
Meijer store in the state of Michigan.
Valerie Ivory, thanks for gifting a membership. The Colorado case is a police officer charged in the death of a
and we will see you on the first
young man.
All right. Thank you,
was
Mr.
not
Vincent.
committing a crime.
Thank you,
Interesting enough, that case also features
I'll come see you soon.
ketamine.
Just need the dates.
Yes, we'll wear the hoodie for the Halloween.
Waiting on the jail.
We are waiting on the jail at this point. How many more we have?
1, 2, 3. No, 6 defendants, but 1 defendant is 4 cases.
So how many defendants?
6.
6. Okay, when the jail comes up, I'll pop back on and we'll get ourselves through this. Or it's in brief recess.
Okay, they're going to go to brief recess right now. We're going to jump over in just a moment. We're going to look at the Louisiana Parole Board hearings, which are going on as well. For those that are new here and are wondering where the Maya trial is, first of all, the Maya trial has a brief break this morning. It will continue at 3:30 this afternoon. Without the jury present, they're going to argue a lot of the evidence and things like that. Oh, hello, ma'am. I hear you.
What in the world?
She just figured out her Zoom, and everyone's on break. So anyway, so the Maya case is on a little break this morning. We're going to come back after lunch. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. Right now it is 10:45. Okay, so at 3:30 is when the Maya trial continues today. We'll have that live. In the meantime, we're covering some of these other courts that are also happening live. We just are finished right here. We had Judge Cedric. That's who we're watching right there. We're going to try to jump over to the Louisiana Parole Board hearings, which is the opposite side of the judicial system. And sometimes it's great to look at that. A lot of times we see people when they're arrested, when they're charged, when they're at trial, when they're convicted. This is the other side after they've served a portion or all of their sentence, as it may turn out to be. And then they're asking to be released back into society. And so it's fun to also look at that side and see the changes and the improvements people can make as they are incarcerated and have a change of heart and have a shift in their mindset a lot of times, or sometimes they don't and still want to get out. So it's I find that, holy cow, what is going on with this dude wearing a toga? We can't leave him yet. We can't leave here yet. We've got to stay right here with Judge Cedric. I'm sorry, this guy is great. He's got a lion mane for a head of hair, and he's wearing his jail outfit like a toga. Don't leave. Sorry, I just saw this. I'm like, what in the world? His name is Zachariah Huska Dennis. Dennis. All right. I want to hear the charges on this one. Please don't waive the reading. Please, his attorney cannot waive the reading. Judges already
we're
laughing.
back on the record. Court does call the cases of the people versus Zachariah Haruska Dennis.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Haruska Dennis. Mr. Haruska Dennis, can you state your name for the record?
Zachariah Haruska Dennis, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your Honor, Mr. Haruska Dennis has a couple pending felonies. We are hoping to adjourn these so we can work on a global resolution. His next date on those felonies is tomorrow, the 19th. I believe they've just been kind of being pushed to work something out. So we're just kind of following along.
Okay, you want the 1st or the 15th? How do you want to do this? Doesn't matter to me.
Let's do the 15th just because those felonies are taking some time to resolve. So that would give us some time to work something out.
All right. All of these matters are adjourned to then, without objection, November 15, 2023, 9 a.m.
So save that date, November 15th. It looks like we need to come back to Judge Cedric's court.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I'm not sure if somebody can research Zachariah Huska
we'll
Dennis.
wait for the next one to be brought up.
He's in a turtle suit. I believe that's a turtle suit. So sadly, it's sort of funny, but at the same time, it might be very sad. It might be a mental health issue that's at play. The turtle suit is typically worn when there's concern of self-harm. So, but yeah, so we'll have to look at somebody remind me on November 15th so we can come back. Okay, we might be changing out here. Oh, we've got a man bun, little cute little man ponytail there. Love the hairstyles. We've had a variety today. Anyway, we've got Amber says I've got the details already. I did as soon as he popped up. She's like, I'm on this. Just for our curiosity, Amber, could you give us just a quick rundown, just in chat of the felonies he's facing? Can we pin a link to the new channel? I'll put it.
Okay, we're back, and court does call the case. Now we're back. Court does call the case, people versus Tyler Meddy.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Meddy. Mr. Meddy, can you unmute and state your name for the record?
Tyler Meddy.
This is actually the date for sentencing on this.
Yes, Your Honor. I did review the pre-sentence investigation report. We have no additions, deletions, or changes.
All right. Mr. Meddy, anything you want to say before I impose sentence, sir?
Yes, sir. I know that they want to give me the Down Farms class in here. I just want to say that I have went to treatment already. I've stayed sober since I've been home from treatment. I'm wondering if I could possibly go back to the Sacred Heart treatment instead. That was just me to you. They ejected that for the PSI, but I just wanted to know what you would say for that. And if not, I just want to know if I could possibly get the early release after I finish the Down Farms class. I'm just trying to get back home to my kids as soon as possible, man.
All right.
Not sure how much the judge could do.
I'm going to be. Go ahead, Ms. Blair.
My concern with Mr. Meddy is that the court did allow a release to treatment. He was also sentenced on a 14A2 district court case where he was allowed release to treatment. He did get released to go to Sacred Heart where he completed a 10-day program. I contacted that facility to have them send me the full report. My concern is his diagnosis with that. He did complete the inpatient. However, he refused any follow-up services. So that's my concern. You know, Mr. Meddy says that he wants treatment, but does he?
I really do. In all reality, my tether died because they evicted us from our house. They threw away my tether charger. I tried to get a hold of my attorney. I realized I should have got a hold of community corrections, but.
And also, Your Honor, just to remind the court, when Mr. Meddy was before the court for sentencing last time, while he was out still on bond, he did pick up another retail fraud second degree, which also landed him back in jail. And that's how he got back there.
And I'm not trying to make any excuses whatsoever. I know that what I did was wrong. I'm not trying to make excuses. I was stealing for drugs in the past. This time they raided everything in my house. My daughter didn't have any clothes. I couldn't send her to school. I know I was still wrong. That's the dead honest truth. I couldn't. If you see everything, it was all baby clothes that I took, man. I'm sorry for what I did. I'm not trying to justify my situation. I know that I was wrong for what I did, but I didn't know what to do. I went out there, got a job. I don't get paid within for 2 weeks, but I did start a job. I worked there for 2 days, but I'm trying to change, man. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
All right. Send to the court. I will just sentence you to state minimums of the $125 statutory fee. I will order 365 days in jail, credit 68 that you served. Defendant is to serve the balance. Defendant is to complete the in-jail Dawn Farm program. I will not guarantee that I will release you early, but I will consider early release upon completion of that Dawn Farm program. All right. Thank you.
Hey, one more thing then.
I'm sorry?
Can I say one more thing then?
You can go ahead.
On my last case, they say that it's you got to do the jail time or whatever. Can I at least get the 210 days that you sentenced me last time? You sentenced me to 200.
I only have 68 on this case.
I had 68 days before I went to treatment. I've been back for 12, but I got sentenced to 210 days and I completed that.
Your Honor, I calculated 68 days from the date of this offense. So I gave him credit.
That's what the credit comes from. It's from the date of the offense.
And like I said, Ms. Meddy, you only get credit for the time that you're actually in the jail. So, and I did calculate it as well. And Ms. Pilara is right that it's 68 days that you were in custody since on this case.
But what about the other 12 days I've been here today, this time?
That is including that time.
All right. So
thank you.
It's not a guarantee that I get out after I finish this class either. All right.
I'm not considering anything until you do that.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. They got a second one.
This is a sad situation.
Are they up yet?
You guys, drugs can mess up your life, and it was a series of choices that's
they're going to come up with a second
now
time.
impacting him and his daughter. It was his own fault that he got in the first situation and made a poor choice on the second. There are other options.
So I don't know who. So I got a name on one, and
he's lost his home.
Okay, let me give you
He's
the
got
fridge
kids
files.
that are going to be
This should be
impacted.
the right fridge today.
this should be the right fridge today. Let's hope. Court does call the case. People versus Charles Fridge.
Yes, sir. Charles Fridge here.
Henry Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Fridge. Mr. Fridge, if you can state your name in full.
Charles Fridge.
Okay, what are we doing on these cases?
Your Honor, I did have an opportunity to speak to prosecution. We discussed a plea deal, which Mr. Fridge would like to take, where one of the cases will be dismissed, and then he will plead to allowing an ineligible driver to drive on the other case.
So Your Honor, in case 0016, originally charged DWLS, he's going to plead to MCL 257.326.
So originally
If you
charged
accept that
driving
plea,
while
I'll move to dismiss the
suspended.
original charge as well as dismissing case 0017.
So driving while suspended was the original charge. They're going to reduce it down to allowing someone who's not authorized to control a vehicle.
Mr. Fridge, raise your right hand.
It seems like a little tiny change, but
Do you
the
solemnly
penalty is
swear or
smaller.
affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name again for the record.
Charles Fridge.
All right, Mr. Fridge, it's this court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days of jail, $100 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Still wish to plead guilty
Yes.
to that charge? How do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
Yes.
You're on probation. Were you on probation back on, well, this was in 2019. Were you on probation? Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
And because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes.
On December 27, 2018, the location of Ellsworth Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Did you allow somebody who was otherwise ineligible, inclusive of yourself, to operate that motor vehicle?
No.
That's including yourself, Mr. Fridge.
Yes. Yes.
That's yes? Okay.
Yes.
Counsel, have I
Forgot his
complied with
answers.
the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea in case 0016. Or will accept his plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. The entirety of case 0017 is dismissed. How long have you been in, Mr. Fridge?
I've been in for 10 days so far, but I gotta serve 64 more days.
64 more?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this then. Sentence you to anything else you want to say before I impose sentence?
No.
Okay. I'll sentence you on this matter to $125 state minimums, 74 days, Washtenaw County Jail, credit 10, defendant to serve balance. Okay? And you're all set.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if I get an early release, then I still have to sit in here on this.
You would, but if you get an early release on that one, contact your attorneys.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll try to make it match up. I'm trying to make it match up with that one. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fridge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I got Tariq Wilson.
Oh, I took it back.
No,
Here you go.
I don't have it. Otherwise, I would have called him. Court calls the case, People versus Tariq Wilson.
It's the last one we're
Reiser
going
on
to watch
behalf
here,
of the
guys.
people.
Then we'll
Bridget
take a jump.
Coons on behalf of Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, if you can state your name in full.
Eric Wilson.
Your Honor, we would be asking for adjournment on this.
He being held on something else. You want the 1st or the 15th?
He is being held. Can we have the 1st?
This matter's adjourned November 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
The guy just came in.
All right.
We already
Thank you,
have him
Mr.
once.
Wilson.
Isn't he the ponytail dude?
And I have Adante.
No, he's
Court calls case, People versus Michael Adante.
Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Adante. Mr. Adante, can you unmute and state your name for the record?
Oh yeah, Michael Adante. Good morning.
Good morning. What are we doing?
He's polite and
Your
everything.
Honor,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Adante is going to plead guilty as charged.
Ooh, just a straight plea.
To retail fraud second.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Adante, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
State your name again, please.
Michael Adante.
You can put your hand down. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of retail fraud second degree. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration or a $2,000 fine plus court cost. The fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $2,000, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, I'm not.
Has anybody promised you anything to get you to plead to this charge?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
March 9th, 2023, at the location of 3825 Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan. What did you do at the Meijer store that makes you think that you're guilty?
I tried to return a pair of jeans that weren't purchased, get a gift card. I tried to return it without a receipt. I have a substance abuse history, trying to get my addiction under control and go back to Sacred Heart. I've just been struggling with substance abuse. So it was related to that. Just stupid move on my part trying to get
Sorry
drugs.
about that cough, guys. I almost always
so
mute that.
you were trying to return something you had not purchased to try to get a gift card to ultimately get money.
Yes, Your Honor.
At the time that you were doing this, the store was open to the public at the time?
Yes, Your Honor.
You didn't have anybody's permission to do that, did you?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel? Well, and had you previously been convicted of retail fraud third degree in the 15th District Court?
I believe so. I believe that was for like Nordstrom Rack or something, I believe a couple of years ago.
In October 2020.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe that's correct. Yes.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
The people are satisfied.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to this charge.
Okay, this is frustrating. Ready? We're gonna.
Your Honor,
defendant
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. Adani is scheduled to go to Sacred Heart. He has another case that's before this court that's scheduled for sentencing on the 8th. I believe he's good to go on that one. He just would ask that any orders allow him to go. He's been working with Patrick and Miss.
He already has the order that he can be released to treatment on this case.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter November 8th, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
All right. Okay, so now we're gonna make a jump here. I'm just frustrated. The Colorado court literally just started their Zoom late. And so we've just got somebody already on the stand, jury's already there, and they're just going to the questioning immediately. So I don't know how much they forgot to share, but I've been refreshing every 10 seconds. And so now today's recording is going to have a tiny bit cut out of it. So anyway, so we're starting that recording. We'll watch that and we'll be good. I think we're all good there. Let's see. We have another thing to jump to, and we want to do one more thing before we go to lunch. Then we're going to take a long lunch and have Maya after lunch. And so next we have up right now, we've got...
You were sentenced 1/5/94 and you got
right
revoked 3/1 of 95.
Now this is the Louisiana Board of Pardons. Sorry. Handling issues here, and it's got a lot of people. This case has been going on for a while. I think they're about to wrap this one up. But we'll just listen and see how this goes. Hang on one sec.
I learned a lot since I've been in prison. I learned how to make poor choices, do the right thing. I got married. I'm gonna work for what I want. I ain't gonna do nothing stupid. Be a man. Do the things I have to do once I get out.
I like that. I like what I'm hearing. So in your record, tell me about your release plan, because I saw somewhere, just tell me about your release plan.
I plan on going to the Pro Project, and they're going to help me find a job once I get there. My residence go to the Pro Project.
So your wife is in Louisiana now?
No, she's in California.
And I read somewhere that she was going to be moving to Louisiana. That's why I was asking.
Yes, ma'am. She's going to come down here once I get released. Yeah, she's going to come to Louisiana. She's going to come down.
Okay, that's the plan. Okay. I want you to know, for the record, all law enforcement is opposed to your early release. There's nothing you can do about that, but we get their opinions about early release, and they're not in agreement. And you do have some victim opposition to your early release because your victim is still physically impacted, wheelchair bound because of your offense. And I just want to state that for the record. There's nothing you can do about that, but I just want to say it for the record. Let's talk about your write-ups for a minute. You've had 10 fights since you've been incarcerated in these 26 years. And I think your last fight, was a factor in why you were denied last time. So tell me, what have you done differently to stay out of fights that you weren't doing before?
Well, I took anger management over again, and I learned not to let my emotions cause me to react. I learned to think before I react, move myself around the situation.
So you telling me that actually works, huh? If you just remove the situation, you can avoid fights.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, don't be telling this. We be expecting that from other guys.
Don't forget about the thinking process.
Huh? Say what now?
Could you say again? I can't hear you, ma'am.
I couldn't hear you either. What you were saying about fighting now, what were you saying?
Well, when I see a situation, I think I move myself around it. I mean, I don't respond to it. I use my anger management, cage my rage.
Right. Well, you need to do a commercial for us. You need to do a commercial for that program. And you do have a good institutional record. We don't see that very often. All the staff spoke well of you, and that's important to me. I look at the institutional record. And it says you work in the incinerator. Is that correct? What do you do there?
That's I collect trash, process. I'm on the garbage truck. I'm gonna hop on back of the garbage truck. I ride around the farm picking up trash.
Okay. Now let's talk about your crime for a minute. Do you remember what was the motivation for that crime? Do you remember?
Ma'am, I retrieved a firearm, and me and my co-defendants. I knocked on Mr. Sponsor's door. I gained full control of the house once I went inside. I robbed Mr. Sponsor, and a tussle broke out, ma'am. A tussle had broke out while we was in there. Mr. Sponsor tried to leave outside the apartment. I shot him in the back, and while he was exiting, and my co-defendant shot him in the head during the robbery.
Right. That matches up with what the police report says. I guess my question is, were y'all under the impression that he had like $4,000 or $5,000 in the house? What was the motivation for picking him to rob?
Well, we came in there to get some marijuana, man. We came in there for marijuana. to get marijuana.
Y'all were there to purchase marijuana from him?
Yeah, and it turned into a robbery. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It was something that's what I wasn't clear on the motivation for the crime. Okay.
The guy who's talking gray, top left corner.
Yes, ma'am.
Gray hoodie.
Okay.
Or gray.
And your last two write-ups was in 2017 and 2020. Do you plan on working towards your high school diploma? Is that something you plan on doing at your high school diploma? Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children do you have?
I don't have any children, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't see it in the record. Okay. You don't have any children. Well, that's all I got. Let me see what the warden's got to say.
Now let's hear from the warden.
Ma'am. You know, we were speaking of his last write-up in 20, that knocked him back down to a max custody. He's since been able to move himself back to his Class A trustee, working at the incinerator, regained his Min A in September of 21, and from that time forward hasn't looked back. So doing what he's supposed to be doing.
All right, thank you, Warden. I appreciate that.
Right. All right, we'll hear from Mr. Andrew Hunley now.
Andrew Hunley with Louisiana Parole Project today, here to commit to the board that if Clifford is granted parole, he will join our residential reentry program, where he will have access to our reentry programming, where we will work to equip him with the skills he needs to reintegrate into society after doing such a long prison sentence. We'll work with him on technological skills, social skills, working to understand social norms, as well as getting him employed, getting him transportation to employment, doctor's appointments, visits to his parole officer, and working with him so he can achieve self-sufficiency. We commit to provide housing for him until a point he and his wife can have a safe and approved residence together. Our organization is impressed with the work he's done over the last several years to get himself back to where he's at in prison today. And we feel based on his age and maturity, he's at the sweet spot where he can come home, have a career, and make an impact in his community. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from Ms. Chiquita Owens.
Robbery, shot a guy in the back.
You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, I wrote down a few things. I'm kind of nervous, but anyway, my name is Chiquita Owens, and I live in Stockton, California, and Clifford is my husband. And I currently work in the healthcare industry. I grew up knowing Mr. Owens during his childhood when he lived in California. At the time, we resided next door to each other. Over the years, we were childhood friends. Over the past several years, I had an opportunity to visit with Mr. Owens and see his remarkable change. During our interactions, we engaged in conversations about different facets of my family and his accomplishments. The classes he currently participating in are completed, and his faith. Mr. Owens has taken a course called Inside Out Dad, which is a parenting class which provides a framework and practical application and development of self-awareness, handling his emotions and spirituality, and most of all, parenting. And I'm gratefully appreciated that Clifford had took this class, as it offered him, that was offered to him by the DOC, and it has given him the tools necessary to build a relationship with my family and my grandchildren. Since Mr. Owens' time of incarceration, he has undergone an incredible change. Clifford was very troubled as a child, but watching his growth has been remarkable, has been a remarkable transition. He has been able to conquer his anger problems, which led to his incarceration. Meanwhile, build a productive work routine, allowing him to find meaning. With experienced welding, he has obtained a trade that he can utilize if given a second chance to reentry to society. I admire Mr. Owens' growth, his faith, and his ability to reform, and his deep understanding of the impact of his offense. Moreover, Mr. Owens will be assisted by upon his release by myself and my family, who will provide financial support, encouragement, and other assistance necessary to ensure successful transition back into society. In closing, I humbly ask that you allow Clifford Owens to serve the remainder of his sentence in the community where he can work and be a part of a family.
All right.
Respectfully, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We're here for Mr. John Sponsel now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's a big step that I'm willing to take. I'm willing to give Mr. Owens a chance with life. If he can learn from what he done, like I had to learn. I'm not gonna hate myself for the decision, but it's an opportunity. If he could show me remorse in some way, that he could help a person like me, maybe that will give him his freedom.
This victim's paralyzed.
On this day, I'm willing to let go. Mr. Owens, if you can hear me, understand it takes a real man to make a decision in life. With my choice, I want you to show me that you can become a better man. Prove to yourself more than to me that you've learned from your decision or your mistakes. I have. I know you don't hear this every day, but if you guys understand like I understand, I'm willing to give them a chance.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. It takes a lot. That takes a lot. God bless you. That takes a lot. Thank you so much.
That was the victim who was paralyzed as a result of the shooting that took place.
All right, Mr. Clifford, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yeah, I apologize to Mr. Sponsor for what I done to him and everybody I impacted by my actions. And I realized I took him through a lot. I caused them to had post-traumatic stress disorder. I caused them not to mingle with other people because of my actions. I was dead wrong. And I apologize. And if y'all give me a second chance at life, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna take care of my family, my wife. I love her. I'm gonna do the right thing by her. I can do the same thing to put me in the situation that I'm in now. I'm a bigger person. The places and changed me a lot. I learned my lesson. I ain't gonna hurt nobody else family members.
All right, thank you. All right, Clifford, thank you so much. Patrick, you want to make a brief statement, wrap it up?
Yes, sir, Mr. Kelty. Thank you, honorable members of the committee. Certainly, Mr. Owens is his own best advocate. I would be remiss not to note that that Mr. Owens is deeply remorseful and in our conversations understands the impact of his offense. And for the reasons that Mr. Owens stated, I respectfully request that this board, for the foregoing reasons, give him a favorable grant of parole to allow him to continue working on the outside as a tax-paying citizen and a member of a productive family. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Panel prepared to vote?
Yes.
Yes. Wise?
Mr. Owens, you've been given a gift today from your victim. A lot of guys don't get that. And I really want to commend him for his statements today, for his reflections, and for that release. We can all feel it in the room. I'm inclined to take a chance on you as well, Ms. Owens. My vote is to grant. You do have a low Tiger score. You have positive comments from the warden, and you have an excellent transition plan, better than most anybody is. I would like for you to stay long-term with the Louisiana Parole Project. Take your time. 1 year after release, start doing community service 5 hours a month. And 1 year after release, enroll in couples counseling. And when couples counselors mean, I can't order your wife to go, but even if she doesn't go, you go. That's a whole new role being a spouse. There's a lot of stuff you don't know. And the couples counselor, y'all figured it out, but stay in counseling to work on being a husband. That is my vote. Best wishes to you.
Mr. Roche.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to speak to the victim. As a victim's advocate, I do appreciate the statement that was just made by the victim. You don't see that very often. Matter of fact, it's very rare that a victim is willing to give his offender another chance, a second chance on life. And you should appreciate the statement, Mr. Owens, and you should remember it for the rest of your life. Based upon positive remarks from the warden, good programs, a good transition plan with the Louisiana Parole Project, and you have no disciplinary issue since your last hearing, my vote is to grant your release under the same conditions as Mrs. Wise.
I actually have 2 votes to grant your parole. I actually denied your parole last time you're here. We asked you not to have any disciplinary write-ups, from here to your next hearing. We asked you to do victim awareness. You did both of those. I'm terribly impressed as well with the work you've done. I'm just in awe of what the victim said. And again, want to thank him so much. That means a lot to us here. But you've done the work you need to do. And so my vote is to grant you parole today. You'll have community service 5 hours per month. You have a curfew from 10 p to 6 a. You'll continue to work on your GED. I think that's important. You need to work on your GED and get that. That'll be good for you. And then after you finish with the parole project, I guess you'll go to California with your wife. She's in California right now. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. She's in California.
Your plans are to go be with her, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sounds great. 3 votes to grant. Today your parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
All right. Thank you all.
And that's how it can look on the other side. So many times we see people go into jail yelling, screaming, and kicking. And it sounded like he had a rough stint. I think he did 23 years in 26 years. Previously was denied for parole, and then just amazing. Very, very rare that you see a victim come on and say, I'm advocating for my offender's release. But Mr. John Sponsel, who literally still to this day in a wheelchair as a result of what this guy did, advocated for him. Very, very powerful. And 3 out of 3, even though we did hear the only people that spoke against his release were law enforcement, and they were basically all the law enforcement individuals who can weigh in on this were unanimous against his release. But the parole board, considered that and decided the opposite direction and went 3 for 3 for release. So that was beautiful. Wow. I hope everybody involved gets the healing they need at this point and the help they need. All right, there are more coming up. I will tell you, some of them are not. Most of them are not as emotional as that is. Sometimes some are almost comical. That people just think that just because you ask to get out on parole, you should get out on parole regardless of what you've done in prison. That's not how it works. So a lot of times you see people appear several times like this gentleman did before a parole board before he was granted release, but today he got it. So pretty powerful. A lot of grace in that situation, very much. All right, we have. I'm watching, but I'm not sure when the next case starts. I might watch one more with the Louisiana Parole Board before we take a lunch. Let's see. Different vibe entirely from the Maya trial. But we will be returning to the Maya trial this afternoon at 3:30. For those that are wondering, 3:30 is when we're returning to the Maya trial, and it's going to be, the jury's not going to be present today, so we're just going to be arguing before the judge about evidence. We're going to be arguing about whether I think there's a motion right now to dismiss the prior witness, Miss Bonnie. I think it was Bonnie. There's some directed verdict motions the judge still has to rule on. Those may come in today, or at least some of them. We have a lot of evidence that is disputed, that is, the two sides can't decide on. And honestly, I think we're going to hear some more about the time that's left, and whether the judge is going to grant additional time to the plaintiff in the Maya trial. How often do people come up for parole? It has to do with the state laws, Cyberwriter. You've got in some cases when the sentence is granted, they might say you have to serve a certain number of years before you're eligible for parole. Say, for instance, Aaron Dean, the police officer who was found guilty of murder, the murder of Tatiana Jefferson. Was that her last name? Tatiana. He was the police officer who responded to a suspicious circumstance and went around the backyard and shot through the window, ended up killing the homeowner, Tatiana. In that trial, he was convicted. The way the sentence was structured, I believe he has to serve, was that 11 years? I think it's 11 years. I don't remember. Okay, we've got more people coming up on the parole thing. Let's see what we've got.
283-933.
Hi, Mr. Bates. My name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Mr. Roche. Ms. Wise will be your panel, explain the process to you, read some information to the record, have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement, we'll take a vote. You understand the process?
The inmate's in the hoodie in the top left-hand corner.
Ms. Amy Jean Houston, Michelle Bates, Adrienne Hutchinson, Andrew Hunley, and you have Mr. Lancaster. Would you like to introduce your student?
Yes, Mr. Kelsey. Robert Lancaster with the LSU Parole and Reentry Clinic here today representing Mr. Bates. With me is Charlize Walter. She is a second-year student at the Law Center. She has worked with Mr. Bates to prepare for the hearing today and helped prepare the packet that was submitted to the committee. She's not certified under Louisiana Supreme Court Rule 20, but she is prepared to make a statement in support of Mr. Bates' behalf at the conclusion of the hearing if the committee deems it appropriate.
All right, thank you. Okay. All right, Mr. Bates. Call Bates, DOC number 283-933. You're a second-class offender. Parole eligibility date 4/27/2023. Good time 7/1/2042. Full term 12/26/2092. You have 90-year sentence. You had a commutation of sentence signed by Governor Edwards on 4/27/2023. Second-degree murder. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Would you answer Ms. Wise, please?
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
How's it going?
Going good, ma'am. A little nervous.
Yep. You've been here before?
Yes, ma'am.
Got some experience. Mr. Bates, tell us what you've been doing since your clemency hearing. What's going on?
Well, all the classes I went through, I'm still trying to maintain everything that I learned from there. When I work at Death Row,
Stop you there. That is so powerful. You've been spending time trying to maintain what you learned in the classes.
Yes, ma'am.
That's good. It's good. I don't think I ever heard that before. Good. I tell you. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
And I work at Death Row at night, and I have a lot of relationships with the guys over there, and I understand what they're going through, and I try to encourage them to never give up, because you never know what happens. And I try to just I work with a lot of the old guys inside the camp at Camp F. I still do their toes. I kind of manicure their toes because they can't reach it. So I have to go down and get it for them,
Yes, ma'am.
That's quite a humbling job. So call out for the record how old you are today.
I'm 61, ma'am.
And how long you served in jail on this sentence?
In December this year, it'd be 30 years.
30 years in December. Your crime was quite concerning. You know that.
Yes, ma'am.
But from what I've read, your family has forgiven you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your son and your daughter have forgiven you.
Yes, ma'am.
That's commendable. That really is commendable. Yeah, I think you've had 9 write-ups in this whole 30 years, and you got several certificates of recognition. Tell us about that. You got 1, 2, 7, or 23 certificate. I think it was for helping with the reception center, I think.
Up front, yes. They had us going up there. I work at Death Row at night, mopping the floors, buffing, scripting, and they had me and the other guy that worked with me. We had to go up there and do that on several occasions before they actually open up.
Okay. Well, that's good. And you had you had a certificate of something in 2018.
I think that was from when we went to the fair in Franklinton. We put up the memorial wall for the veterans. Day.
Okay, good. One of the things I read in your statement, it said it's not about where you die in, it's about the state of mind you die in.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought that was powerful. That's what you've been telling the death row inmates.
Yes, ma'am.
State of mind that you die in. So what is your relationship with your son? I hear he's struggling right now. How you?
He over the years I've been hearing he had a little drink. He likes to drink, and lately since I've been talking to him the last few months, he kind of slowed down. But I would still like to have that relationship with him because I'm not a big drinker. I never was a big drinker, and I like to be able to be around him. So when I see him doing that, he have a problem, we'll be able to sit down and talk about it, so he won't have to go down that road.
Okay. I saw that you were in the Marines from 1980 to 1984, right? And then you joined the Marine Corps.
Yes, ma'am.
So why didn't you make it a career?
Because I didn't make it a career because I was missing home and I was missing my wife. I was missing.
And she couldn't move.
My girlfriend at the time.
Your wife couldn't move where you live?
I just wanted to get back to her, ma'am.
Your wife couldn't move with you where you were living?
We wasn't married at the time because her mother wouldn't let us get married. So we just never did maintain.
Okay. Because when I read you,
relationship in the 4 years.
He had made a career.
But when I got out, I won't get back together.
Yes, I saw that. That's what I read. Because when I'm looking at your history, of course we have the vantage point of looking at your life before and now, and of course we can pick at it now because it's history. Your life would have been totally different had you stayed in the Marines and made that a career.
Believe me, I have thought about that over the years. Why I just didn't stay there. I wouldn't
struggle trying to find a job and had a baby already, Yeah.
Over the years, I thought about it, but I don't think I made a mistake by coming home. If I wouldn't have came home, I wouldn't have had my daughter.
Okay. I like the way you look at that. Okay. So tell us, what are your plans? If you are for the day, what are your plans?
My plan is to go to parole project in Baton Rouge, and in that time, I'll be trying to get into truck driving school. And in between that and the time when I go home, I'll be doing a little work for my nephew, keep maintaining his house that he got rented out.
Okay, all right. I know that's what I thought you said. You want to be a truck driver.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody mention to you about the TWIC card and what you have to get for that?
I'm willing to do anything I need to get that job. That's always been my dream job.
Okay. I hope it works out. That's the only thing I'm concerned about with the TWIC card. And with your parole officer and your charge. I hope it works out. And you do have law enforcement opposition, the sheriff's office and the DA's office and voice some opposition. There's nothing you can do about that.
It can be difficult to be a truck driver on parole.
That's all I got. And the governor did sign your clemency. It has already been stated on the record. Warren, what you want to tell us about this young man?
He has maintained his Class A trustee status going back to from 2009. He temporarily lost it in 14, regained it after several months. One thing about Paul, looking at his background, is that we've had to move him from time to time in his job for institutional need, and he has taken on those tasks. I will say that from 2015 to 2019, he worked cleaning grease traps for 4 years. That is not a highly sought after job at any institution, but he did it for 4 years. We've seen other guys that do it for a lot less time than that and will sometimes catch a write-up to get out of that job. So it speaks to Paul.
Thank you.
All right, Andrew.
Andrew Hunley, Louisiana Parole Project, here today to commit to the board that Paul is a client of ours, and we look forward to welcoming him into our residential reentry program. Not only do we have confidence that Paul will do a phenomenal job with his reentry, he's obviously a very thoughtful, mature person, very driven person. But we think that he's the kind of person that the board releases, and then he has a positive impact on other people who've been released. He's the kind of person who's a mentor and a good example for other people around him, just knowing who he has been and how other people view him. So we're excited about the opportunity to help him rebuild his life, and we'll know life. And we know that he's not only going to do a good job, but he would impact others if given that chance.
Hey, Jessica, I'll answer this right after if you remind me.
Thank you.
Has a couple factors, and I'll tell you why.
All right, Ms. Hutchinson, would you like to make a statement? Is she there, or do we don't have that? Is that wrong? For some reason, it says yes. I don't know why. Maybe it was wrong.
It's wrong. I'm not speaking today. Yeah.
Sorry. We just had it wrong down here. I'm going to scratch it off.
Sorry.
All right. Mr. Paul, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Sir, I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to get back with I got 10 grandkids. 7 of those are boys. And I want to be able to cut it off where they will come to this place like this. The oldest is 11 out of those boys. And I want to be there for them. I just want to be there for them.
So where are you moving back to after Parole Project?
Kipwood, sir.
Who you going to live with?
Me and my son are going to live together.
Okay. How's your son?
My son will be 42. He'll be 44 in January.
What's his name?
Paul Terrence Bromfield.
Okay. All right, Ms. Walters, would you like to wrap it up?
Yes, sir. I want to first thank the board for allowing me to be present and speak on behalf of Mr. Paul Bates. I think that he is his best advocate when it comes to speaking on all of the things that he has done. I do want to highlight his job. I do think that it's a big deal that he's working at the death row and has been able to encourage emotional awareness. He's very understanding of his boundaries when it comes to his emotional capacity. And I think that's very important, especially when it comes to if he's granted parole, being released and things like that, to be aware of what his limits are. I do also want to highlight that his end goal, his dream has always been a truck driver. Parole Project is willing to help him ensure that he has the I guess, the foundation needed to pursue that dream, but his family will also be there to support him throughout that process as well. So I think that basically Mr. Bates has really been proven since the past 30 years to not only become more self-aware, but also aware of how his emotions and how his role impacts those around him. So if he is granted parole, he will transition to first the parole project, then Kenwood, where he will be surrounded by family and friends. They are the great, I think they offer so much support. They'll be loving, they're willing to take care of him in any aspect that they can. But after that, he will try to achieve his goal of being getting a CDL. And for those reasons and the reasons that Mr. Bates offered in the hearing, we respectfully request that he be granted parole with any conditions the committee deems appropriate. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Now prepare to vote, Ms. Wise.
Yes. Mr. Bates, I just want to commend you on the work that you've done. You did a great harm, but you healed and you've been helping others. And that's all that's all I can ask. My vote is to grant to the Louisiana Parole Project for a period of time that they find appropriate. 1 year after release, I want you to start doing 7 hours a month community service, working with domestic violence programs and with youth. Just kind of break that up and try to involve your grandkids. Like if you start a softball team or something, try to engage your kids in your community service with other kids. That is my vote, sir. That's what you see.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Roche.
Mr. Bates, my vote is the same. I'm going to vote to grant. I'm going to add one condition, that you have a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And good luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right, 2 votes to grant your parole. And I know when you get back to Kentwood, you got a really good big family. They're going to really help you take care of you for sure. My vote is to grant your parole today as well. You have 7 hours of community service you need to attend after you finish with the parole project. You have a curfew from 9 p to 6 a. So hey, here's your opportunity. Get back to the community, do something good. You have a great opportunity to help those youngsters in Kentwood for sure. Today your parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
Okay, so
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
This inmate just went from literally from being on death row to having his sentence commuted to life in prison to getting granted parole. And I realize it's been 30 years, and that is a long, long time. But wow, wow. He was the one in the gray hoodie. Yes, gray hoodie. Just incredible. I think it's important that we periodically watch some of these hearings. We don't know how it's going to end. These are live, so we don't know how it's going to end. It could be, rejecting their application. But here we had 2 people, both involved in significant crimes that could have or did take someone else's life, and both were granted parole under conditions because of how they worked and how they've changed their life. And I'm one person that believes in giving people second chances, and so it instills a lot of hope in me. A lot of times we'll see a defendant in court, and they'll get convicted, and the sentence comes down, and you hear that life without parole. Here, imagine this guy was literally sentenced and convicted to death. He was convicted to receive the death penalty, and now is out on parole because he changed. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. All right. All these ones, Mesa, we were watching that out of Louisiana. That's the Louisiana Board of Parole that is handling those, and it's they're quite interesting. Sometimes they're comical, sometimes they're funny. A lot of times they're very emotional as well. So yeah, that I have to admit, I was surprised that the last one was granted. Murder's a big thing, and yeah, you've got the forgiveness of your family, but you can't consult the main victim, the primary victim in that case, because they're dead. And I know that's a tough one. So, all right, let's see. Are they at Angola or different prisons? They might be at different ones. I'm not sure. I think the cameras rotate around, so they're different boards. But I think all of Louisiana's are televised like that. he had the benefit of following an inspirational case. That did help. You know, you put the guys in a good mood, and maybe it helps us. We've seen that with Judge Boyd as well. You know, you send her flowers, and then she's nicer to people, right? Just kidding. There have been many mistakes by a parole board. Yes, there are times that parole boards let people out, and they end up. The word is recidivism, where they reoffend and end up back in prison. He did kill his wife, says Mayla's mom's the confirmation on that one. I think the flowers we sent her are probably dead by now, but here's what we're going to do. It's 11:45. We get a long lunch today. I'm going to give you guys a long lunch. I'm going to just do some monitoring on this Colorado case and make sure everything's working properly here on this recording. The case is moving forward. For those that are interested in watching the Elijah McClain trial, or the trial of Officer Nathan Woodyard, who's accused of 2 charges in relation to his involvement in Elijah McClain's death. The judge, the order on that, first of all, I've told you I have permission from the judge to record. So if you go and watch the Zoom feed yourself, and you'll see huge warnings from the judge saying you're not even allowed to take a screenshot, or else we're going to lock you up for the rest of your life. I have a written order from the judge authorizing me to do it, so it's okay. People are reaching out saying you're not supposed to record that one. I am literally one of the few people who is allowed to record this one. I don't see anyone else putting it out there, so I was going to save this and show it on the channel later, but I realized a lot of people want to watch it and can't sit there all day and watch it live as it happens, because there's no way to rewind. If you miss it, you miss it. And so I figured I'm putting it out there. It is out on my second channel. I put the link of the second channel up there in chat right here. That channel is going to be a different channel than this, and I'm not. It's going to be a very different channel, is all I'm saying. It's still going to be me. If I'm on that channel live, you'll still get me and my personality the way it is right here. But we'll cover different topics and especially maybe some situations either in the news or in courts that may have political elements in them. I'm not saying we're going to be like rah Democrats, rah Republicans. That's not what we're going to do. That's not what I'm saying. But I know a lot of you come here because there aren't any politics and the fights that go in there. That other channel is going to have some of those discussions, but hopefully we can still do it in a respectful way. That's my hope. I've got my fingers crossed. So anyway, so that channel, if you want to, I'd love it if you share that channel out for anyone who's looking to watch this trial and stay up to date and aren't able to watch it during the day. Yes, I'm a bit of a workaholic, created by EJF. I love it, though. This is a lot of fun. So let's see. So Micah says, so you aren't playing the trial, you're recording on this channel. The trial I'm recording, that's right over here, just off screen, the judge's order, he gives us permission to record and rebroadcast, but not live stream. We specifically have to delay it. And because he didn't say how long the delay was, I technically could try to fight it and say, hey, give it a minute delay. It's not live. I'm not going to do that. I'm waiting 24 hours. So what is out right now on my channel is yesterday's events. And then tonight I'm going to upload what happened today, and sort of it's going to be like that, delayed by 24 hours. But I would encourage you to share that channel out with anyone. If you know people that are looking for trial coverage and would like that and aren't able to watch during the day, I'd love it if they'd subscribe there. I intend on following this all the way through, so you can provide that for people. Let's see. Little Miss, I know who the streamer is. I watched him. I don't know who you're talking about, Little Miss. According to the court order, no one should be live streaming that trial. And the trial we're referring to is Nathan Woodyard. He is the third police officer of 5 charged in the death of Elijah McClain. So it's a tough one. And two of the officers have already been tried, and it was interesting because they were tried together in the first trial, and one was acquitted and one was found guilty. So it's been a split decision. This officer, Nathan Woodyard, is the first officer to make contact with Elijah McClain, and he's also the one that he put his hands on him within like 8 seconds of arriving on the scene, and he's also the one that put the cardioid, did I say that right? A chokehold on him, which may have contributed to the state he was in, where the officers felt that he was non-responsive and and they thought it might have been drug induced, and they ordered or requested that he receive a ketamine shot, and the ketamine shot made him extremely lethargic, and it ended up leading to his death. So it's a very, very complicated case. A lot to follow there. So the new channel is pinned above on chat. Hopefully, if you, I'd love it if you guys share that out with anyone who's interested in following that case. It's just straight video. It's not me talking. I don't have concerns about fair use or anything else, so I don't need to have my face on there and interrupt and things like that. Ivan, I think people are more afraid of what it could be. Just realize we have something here that's very different from anywhere else on the internet. And I'm not trying to become like anywhere else on the internet. But there are some cases that I think that are important that wouldn't fit very well here that are going to be on that other channel. So, all right. We are ready for lunch. Great question, Amanda. I don't know the details. I do know that it was 1,400 milligrams per kilogram or something. It's interesting that when you've listened to the Maya trial and you've heard about the dosages and the amounts and the dosage that Elijah was given. So it's a lot of things. Little Miss, you don't see any pinned messages there. It's at the top of the chat in the blue bar is where it is, but here it is floating on the screen for you. The channel is just called Top Mark Media. So if you search for Top Mark Media, that would be it. All right. Yeah, the other channel is not a 24/7 channel like this one. So it's not going to be as everyday. It's not going to be an everyday thing. You can't click the link. Let me post it. Oops. That's no good. Let me do this one more time. Hide chat, show chat, pop out chat. Make full screen. Okay, I've got to highlight this. Copy and paste, and now the link is clickable. Ready? So right here in chat, if you look in the chat window, well, if it goes, there it is. There's the link that's clickable, but it's not on screen. It has to be over on the chat side. There will be chat in the new channel, My Dog Clover. There will, and that's what we're planning on. All right, thank you very much. It is time for lunch. It's time to have a break now. Just realize we have a very long lunch. Don't get lost. We do want you to come back. We're going to, let's see, have an easy day. I have to look into that one. That's enough time to get permissions. Florida's a little picky, and it's hard to get in sometimes. They're great with open access, but sometimes giving media access to a court is a little harder to get. So I'll look into that one. May of 2024 is definitely enough time for that. So I'll add that to the agenda to look into. Long lunch. We're coming back at 3:15, which is in 3.5 hours. That's not a very long lunch. I just did the math. It's noon right now, 3:15. That's 3 hours, 15 minutes. So that's when we're going to be coming back. We will be picking up with the Maya trial again. For that, obviously, the jury is not going to be there. It's just going to be an afternoon session, handling a lot of the paperwork and the arguments. I think it will be spicy. I think it will be worth your watch. It's going to be interesting. So sounds good. Anything else we need to cover before we break for lunch? I don't know what's for lunch actually, for myself. I have to go raid the kitchen. Can we come earlier and court hop or something? Kathy, I'm going to be watching closely because I think it was 3:30 for sure. If they come in early, we're going to go live earlier. We just won't have much of an intro, so I don't want to miss anything that happens there. Did anything happen yesterday afternoon in Maya? I had a doctor's appointment. Little Miss, yes. That's one you might want to rewatch over lunch if you haven't. We had spicy testimony that was actually, I think it was very helpful for the defense, and that was from Dr. Bonnie Rice. She's a nurse practitioner. She had a lot of things to say. I think we're going to hear from the plaintiff today additional argument about getting her testimony thrown out because of all the things she said. So that's where we're going to go. All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations to those who... No. Thank you. Congratulations to who won the internet. I forget who won the internet. Did a great job today. Thank you. Thank you to our incredible mods who do incredible work not just in managing chat, but in supporting me on the back end. I wish I could show you the chat and the communications that are constantly coming my direction, helping me to do what I say I want to do, as well as providing information for things that on the spur of the moment. It's wonderful. They're the best mods on the internet, and I can't thank them enough. Can't thank you enough as well. Thanks for making this the fun place it is. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again. 3:30 this afternoon, we're picking up again with the Maya case. At 3:30, it will be spicy. Spicy, that's my prediction. I'm calling it now. All right, guys, see you after lunch. Be good to each other. Bye.